Hey guys, welcome to the LG Ultragear Streamer Invitational for Apex Legends. My name is Crips and with me is Aggressive. We are going to be joined by some of the finest streamers in the country today and we're going to be playing some really cool Apex Legends. All these streamers who have been invited have formed their own teams and their teams are now competing for the massive prize pool of 3 lakh rupees. We already saw some pretty great games yesterday and today we have 5 more action-packed matches for you guys. Aggressive, what are your expectations for the day?
Yeah, yesterday a lot of the teams exceeded our expectations, especially from the side of Team Ankita being able to take the number one away from Team Mackle. Mackle, they were expected to stay on that number one. They were expected to get all of the wins constantly throughout the entire day and put themselves on that champion spot. And they were the team that a lot of the other teams had to reach. But actually, it was the complete opposite. Team Ankita, they set their own piece, getting 3 wins back to back to back. Being able to prove something like that and finish day number one off with a bang just goes to show how serious they are throughout the entire tournament. But at the same time, they cannot get too comfortable because, as far as I remember, they had 89 points on their side. While Team Mackle, they had 71. So the point differentials is not that much. And when you compare it to the number three, number four, number five spots, it's also not that much because the 30-point differential can pretty much be taken over by like one win, and in another game you just play for the placement points you played. So you played, say, you get 19 points, finish it all over, and then you're in the running for the number one position. And this is only if Team Ankita have a really slow start, because sometimes as a gamer we all can understand that we sometimes have a really good day, sometimes we have a really bad day, especially when you consider a battle royale. Sometimes when you don't have a good day, you tend to die out really early. You're not going to be finding favorable positions, and it's going to be really unfortunate if you die out really early, because then the lead that you have will just completely disappear. That's what happened to Team Mackle constantly throughout the entirety of day one. Initially, they started things off with a bang. They got a win for themselves as well, and they were being consistent throughout the day. Then, after the third map, they completely fell apart, especially from the side of Sick Warriors, constantly shutting them down over and over again. And I'm really hoping that Sick Warriors, they're going to be able to perform the same way as yesterday, because if anyone can take down Team Mackle, as of right now, considering what we have seen, it has to be the side of Sick Warriors.
This could very well be the case. Sick Warrior could be their kryptonite, and he's been creating trouble for them every now and then. So it stands to reason that today will be no different. The only sad part is that even though Sick Warriors team does perform well, and even though they are able to pick up some really good kills and win some nice fights, they're unable to piggyback on that momentum and carry it forward into the game, which kind of means that they will have a couple of kills going into the first few circles, but then as we approach the later stages of the game, they find themselves unable to get into desirable positions and unable to lock other teams out or control the area as much as they would want to. So that's a problem that they've been running into. Other than that, they're pretty good at fighting a team on team. If it's just 3 versus 3 battle, then I'm pretty sure Sick Warrior will win. But the moment a third party or a fourth party gets involved, yeah, then their chances become a bit dicey.
Yeah, it's very difficult for them to try and get into those favorable spots, more or less. But at the same time, like, I need to highlight the side of RakaZone at his squad. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure that every single highlight reel that we started, we go into match highlights and we'll
Oh,
just
yeah.
RakaZone scene right at the very beginning. They go into, they land, and immediately there's fighting someone. Tell me one time they
Exactly.
didn't start fighting. And it's good and bad at the same time, because whenever you're the first team to go in for engagements every single time, there's a 50-50 chance. You either get a good gun and you kill them all, or you punch them to death, or you die in the process by getting punched to death. Anything can
Exactly.
happen here. And that's what's happening towards the side of RakaZone. And I really hope this is not what we're going to be seeing in the number two as well.
Exactly. Like that poor guy, he was dropping into staging every single time. And almost every time he ran into one team or the other, even if teams changed the drop locations, RakaZone still remained in staging, except for that one game. The one
Even
game
then,
where
they
he
had
went
another
somewhere
team.
else, even then they got another team to fight against. Exactly. It's like they just can't catch a break. People will contest them the moment they land. And every time they're about to land, every time they're just in the air and about to reach the ground, they'll always be looking out like, oh, yeah, there you go. There's our enemy. Quickly, let's just get a gun. Even if it's a Mozambique or a P2020, you will have to fight because, hey, you don't have a choice. You don't get the luxury of picking and choosing at this point. And the one time they decided to move away from staging, that was the one time that staging was completely empty. Nobody else was there. And if they landed there, they could have finally had a peaceful start to a game. But it seems like peace was never an option. They woke up and chose violence, and that's the way I like it.
Yeah. Let's see which side of the bed they woke up today, though. Was it the side of violence or was it the side of peace? But let's head on down over to the standings to see exactly what the teams were up to yesterday and see who we're going to be looking up to for today here, Cribs. And I want your thoughts. What do you think went wrong for them yesterday, and who do you think should be rising up to the challenge today?
Hmm. Well, we'll take a look. These are all the people that are playing today, and yeah, we have some really cool teams. Hydraflick's team was expected to do well yesterday, but somehow they just haven't found their mojo. Think today
Mhm.
could be the day when they are able to mount a comeback and they're able to show everyone exactly what they have in store for us. Sick Warrior, we already spoke about him. He's the Kryptonite. Ankita's team currently on the lead. Beg for Mercy now. His team has been also performing really well.
Yep.
And they are probably one of the hottest contestants for that number one spot, other than Sick Warrior. So I'm assuming today will be basically Ankita versus Beg for Mercy, battle for supremacy, and Sick Warrior trying to come in hot and trying to take them both down. While all of this is going on, Bloodline and Hydraflick will try to play spoiler.
Yeah, they're gonna try to get into a better position for themselves at the bare minimum, but it's just not happening today. So as well, Team Sway, they actually got a win for themselves moving on down the line in map number 2, if I do recall when we look at the standings again. But the thing is, it's just not as you would have expected. Oh no, Team Sway were barely got a win in map number 2, if I do remember. They came in at second position, but that's what you would expect. Like they should have gotten something more. All of these teams, right at the very bottom, Hydraflick, RakaZone, Sway, Arm Power Gaming, T-Bone, they could have gotten wins, but they were just falling short way too often. They were not able to take a lot of those favorable engagements that you would expect them to take. They had a couple of fair 1v1s, but they were just not able to win them out in all of those different fights. And I personally do believe that the bottom tier teams, as of right now, when you consider the positions of 9 to 16, they need to show up here in day number 2 and in map number 1 immediately if they want to push themselves onto that number 5, number 4, number 3 positions. Because trying to go in for number 1, even if you have a phenomenal day number 2, I don't think that that's going to be possible here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go above and beyond if you want to overtake Ankita's lead today.
Yeah,
There
30
are a
points
few
every single game. Let's go.
it's a 30 points every single game. Jesus. That's a bit of an ambitious target. But if you take a look at the overall scoreboard, you'll notice that after the top five teams, everyone just starts to fall off a little bit. Like Ankita's on a whole new level, on the verge of reaching the 90-point marker. Mackle's playing catch up with 70. And then after that, the point disparity becomes a little less, but only for Beck for Mercy, Bloodline, and Sick Warrior. I mean, Bloodline and Sick Warrior literally tied for each other, but then after that, there's a massive 14-point buffer, 15-point buffer between Sick Warrior and Hydraflick. And everyone after that just starts to fall off. And take a look at all the teams who are below the top 10. They barely have 10 points. So that's also a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just not possible for them to try and push this lead even forward. The thing is, they need to pretty much pray that Team Ankita, Mackle, Beck for Mercy, and Bloodline have really bad starts right off the get go, and then
Or
it'll
they
be
fight
an
each other.
argument. Yeah, or they fight each other really early and try to finish each other off as fast as they possibly can. It's all up to that. Like you need to rely on your opposition to make a lot of the mistakes, but are they going to be making those mistakes here, Chris? I
Yeah.
don't think so. Especially when you consider the amount of discipline that Team Ankita, Mackle, and Beck for Mercy have shown throughout the entire day of day number 1. And so let's head on down over towards the prize pool one more time, ladies and gentlemen, to see exactly what these streamers are actually fighting for. And when you have 3 lakh rupees on the cards, I think that anyone's gonna go for a far and beyond to try and win this.
Yeah, and it's a pretty decent spread to 1,25,000 for the team that wins, 75,000 for second place, 50,000 for third place, so on and so forth, all the way up until the top six. It's still 5 digits for everyone who makes it into the top six, which means you only have to be in the upper half of this whole bracket. And that does seem a little difficult. Sick Warrior, he's kind of being the gatekeeper right now. He's the man who's sitting at fifth position. The sixth spot keeps on changing every now and then. So, yeah, if you want to guarantee yourself a better amount of money, that's the person that you need to beat. Or rather, should I say, that's the person you need to overtake. Because Sequoia's team has been doing pretty well and they can beat people when it comes to just fragging and aim duels. Yeah, but after that is when all the other things about Apex start to become a little bit of a problem. You know, the whole
Yeah.
problem of the third party and the fourth party and the zone sometimes screwing you over.
The main thing that you really do need to highlight whenever you are on the server, especially when you're on the early games, it's good to go in for fights. You're going to be able to get a good amount of 1v1 engagements. And even if you do get third party, there is a way that you can survive because
Mm,
the opponent teams are not going to have a lot of their ultimates available. So they're not going to be able to jump you almost immediately. They need to take the fight slowly as well. So you have a chance of repositioning yourselves, getting into a better spot. But whenever it comes down to late game, you need to position yourself in such a way that even if there is a third party, you always have a backup plan. The contingency of a lot of these fights that the Sick Warriors are trying to take really does rely on them getting a fair 1v1 every single time. And as soon as they win out on the fair 1v1, they have nowhere to run. Where do they go? If they drop on down onto the low ground, they're pretty much dead. If they try to fight the fight, they're still almost dead because they don't have proper resources to go in for the re-engagement and they have no chance to heal themselves. The thing is, going in for fights is fine, but you need to pick your fights properly. Sometimes you need to be playing it a lot more slower, pulling yourself back, and then opting to go in for a lot more fights moving on down the line. And I'm really hoping that
yeah.
Sick Warriors they show a lot more discipline here today because them as a squad, I'm really looking forward to them performing here because they have the aim, they have the potential to do a lot of great things, but they're just falling a little bit short, just a tiny bit. And if they're able to
Hmm.
work out the plans, they should be able to get a win and force themselves onto that number two position, if not the number one. Because Team Mackle, they're having a pretty lackluster performance. We would expect a lot more better for them, considering that they have Prudge, they have Mackle, they have Northern Breeze. These are the best these are the best players that we have seen on the server for a really long time when you consider the Rise of Legion event. They took everything away. So we expect a lot coming on now from them. But at the same time, we expect a lot from the other streamers as well because they have put in the hours and it is being showcased throughout the entire game. Just look at the Ankita. They have put in so many hours, so much practice, and they're at the number one. And they're the top contenders and the top dogs that the other teams need to take out here.
Yeah, but then also there's people like Axpac, there's people like the startup guy.
Oh,
These guys, they represented the country internationally in the ALGS. So these guys not only have the firepower and the experience, but they quite literally have it under their belt. The international waters, they've been there. They've seen what the other teams play like. They've competed with teams from Southeast Asia and Europe, even the Middle East for that matter. And these guys know what the world looks like. And speaking of worlds, it is going to be World's Edge, by the way, for all of you guys, all 5 maps. I mean, people have been asking us why there's no, Kings Canyon or Olympus, but let's be honest, World's Edge is probably the most suitable map for competitive. And some of these drop areas that the teams have picked up for themselves, they don't tend to change that often. So at this point, we're even starting to get into those fixed storylines, right? If there is a nice and safe drop, all the teams who are going to their respective locations will only fight each other after they are done looting. So it's not like we're going to have some punch battles early on. But then every now and then, some on the other team changes their drop location, and then we have something completely unexpected. Let's see if something like that happens today or not. Ladies and gentlemen, the first game is live. The drop ship is in the air, and it's going via the plains of World Edge. Let's take a look at where these guys are going. So, right off the bat, Axpac, Startup Guy, all these guys are heading towards Skyhook. And this could be good. Could be exciting. We also know for a fact that Hydraflick's team like to drop in Skyhook. But
oh, Fragment East and West are
it's
taken over.
yeah, Fragment East and West are also taken over. I mean, we used to see Ankita's team go over there early on, but now Meow 16K is also present over here. So this could be good. And both of them are now trying to drop near the same side of Fragment towards the western side. In fact, one of the teams is inside that Predator building slash streamer building, whatever you guys like to call it these days. I don't know what the kids call it. The Preds call
Streamer
it streamer
building.
building. Yeah, the streamers call it the Pred building. It's just everyone trying to throw it at each other. Either way, I do have a feeling that Robo's team and Shriman Legend might just start fighting each other soon. None of those teams dropped into proper points of interest. They only dropped into these tunnels towards the edge of Climatizer and Epicenter. So yeah, this could be an early battle. But Shriman Legend's team, they've only got 2 players, and now
Oh,
they're
no.
already in danger.
Yeah, they're getting shot down from multiple different angles, but at the same time, one unit with the wingman could just be good here. It's just not gonna be able to find that. RakaZone's gonna be good for 1 kill. It's gonna take 1 down at the bare minimum, but getting shot from another angle. Playing a Mirage though, a little bit questionable. Yesterday we saw something a little bit interesting. Today we're seeing something even more interesting. Mirage
Oh yeah.
coming down in a match. Yeah, that doesn't happen as often as you would have expected. But hey, Team RakaZone,
Yeah.
they're gonna stay alive, and hey, they got 2 kills for themselves.
They did, and they eliminated Team Sway too, so that's great. Shriman Legends are now in a 2 versus 3 battle, unfortunately, won't be able to come out on top. They naturally had a disadvantage because of the number of people present over there, but Robo's team, the one team that was assaulting Shriman Legends, have now scanned 4 people, which means they've discovered that they're about to get third-partied. How soon can they escape from this area? They can't, apparently. It's Hydraflick, and nobody walks out alive. Both Shriman Legends and Robo might just end up going down over here.
Yeah, there's not much that you can do here. Hydraflick's gonna be the one to take down both of you at the same time. Robo, they have to take a back seat here, but I do believe that this is another squad, and it's actually Team T-Bone. T-Bone's going up against the side of Hydraflick, but they're just not gonna be able to survive for long. That's the first initial guy already getting taken out. The Octane team to take a back seat, and now it's all up to T-Bone and his gang to try and bring everything back. Hydraflick's squad's also taking a massive amount of damage. The startup guy gets taken out on towards the side. The Ultragear should be good for 1 kill. And one side, it is gonna be Tuesday, and on the other, it's gonna be Hydraflick going in for that crossfire, going in for that pincer, taking down the opposition, and it's gonna be Tuesday being the one to get the kill leader in his favor. 3 kills for his side, and a really strong start for the side of Team Hydraflick.
So that was a fourth party situation there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hydraflick, they came in at the very end, and sometimes timing can be everything around here. You think you have the edge when you're about to third party someone, but then of course there's always someone else waiting in the wings. Midfield though, now trying to fight inside the streamer building. Not going to be able to win that one. Tamim has been down, and he's alone now. Even they had a disconnection issue where only 2 people joined the lobby. But Meow16k was the team that was fighting them, and now Team Mackle has decided to gate crash the party. Now the third party comes through. Will Mackle be able to make this one work? They found the captain Meow16k herself, but her other 2 teammates, they are starting to run away from this battle. Not the worst decisions. They can recover Meow16k's banner later on, but it would be foolish to start fighting Team Mackle right now, especially when they're so hot and heavy on momentum. Of course, they're not going to let you go. Prudge, now with the Octane, starting to chase them down to the ends of the earth. You have Northern Breeze from above, providing overwatch from the high ground, and Mackle and Prudge, both of them just trying to run down the enemies, chase them out to the edge of Fragment. They've found one. Can they connect, though? Will they find him? This might just turn into a game of hide and seek soon.
Yeah, this is just about the Tom and Jerry chase. They need to try and get themselves into a better position as they're going in for the chase, though, because you need to remember, chasing someone is good, but at the same time, it can be really dangerous. But Back for Mercy and his squad, they're also going in for their own fights. I do believe against the side of Raman Chopra's team, because I saw Raman Chopra getting caught out in the kill feed there because of Axvax. Axvax, though, he's playing in a dangerous game. He's all by himself on the other side. He's chasing down one. He's got to spot him out. The shots are being taken, but he's just not going to be able to find that kill. But instead, it's going to be his buddy, more Fat Monster, swinging around the corner. It's going to be able to take down the last player of SC116YT. Taking him out, sending him back home. And Team Raman Chopra's team, they all need to take a back seat. They're not going to be able to survive. And there's going to be another squad getting wiped out. And Crips, it seems like the match is going in pretty quickly. All of the squads, they're really dropping like houseflies now.
Exactly. And by the book too. It's like someone ordered a massive pest control service. Now let's see which one of these services beat them to the punch. We have Team Hydraflick, Team Mackle, both of them being the ones who clean up everybody. Hydraflick cleared out the northern tunnels, and now they're inside of Skyhook once again, ready to begin. And they found their target. Hydraflick, the captain himself, in a little bit of trouble as he gets ganged by 2 people at the same time. His teammates from the top of the roof, they try to cover him, but they're a little late to the party. The knock already came through and turns into a 2 versus 3, but Startup guy, he's gonna get flanked by Team Sick Warrior. Turn up tables over here as we are now in a 1 versus 3 situation. Can he pull this one off? Oh, Shiva will be found. Tuesday is trying to do his best, juking and jiving, but he won't be thriving anytime soon. And Sick Warrior is the one who takes Skyhook for himself.
Yeah, beautifully done from the side of Sick Warriors to be able to take down Hydraflick like that. Because you need to consider something. Hydraflick, they had the advantage going in for this fight, but the thing is, Team Hydraflick, they went in for the push prematurely. They needed to wait. They needed to go in for the fight together as a squad. One person opened the doors towards the side of the building. You open the door, and there's like 3 people waiting for you on the other side to shoot you down. And in that situation,
no way you're surviving that.
Fat Monster just opened the door at the wrong time, and he's just like, FBI, open up! But as soon as the FBI opened up the door, there's like 4 shotguns waiting for you on the other side. And Fat Monster's in the background's like, nervous chuckle, I'm in danger. And then just falls to the ground.
Yeah, and this FBI doesn't take any hostages. They don't do anything to arrest you. They'll just straight up give you the death sentence right there. Guillotine from the top. Speaking of danger, take a look at the northern sector of the map. Server
It's
camp, Climatizer,
yeah.
Epicenter, Fragment West, Fragment East, Overlook, all of it's empty. Where is everyone? Everyone's dead. Half the server is gone. We're down to the last 8 teams. And the first ring hasn't even closed yet. This is such a fast game. Oh, it looks like we're heading towards a very slow finish today.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long one for sure. But hey, ladies
Um,
and gentlemen, if it's long, sometimes you know for a fact that the teams could just be going on for
Fight
a
and
fight.
Harvester.
Oh yeah. And on the Harvester side, one of the teams are going to be facing off against one another. Which teams are they is the real question. I guess.
Ankita and RakaZone, I guess. And here's the
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
Ankita herself is playing today. There's been a little change in lineup.
They are going to be in a pretty good spot though, but at the same time, the Harvester is not as clear as you would have expected. Team Angita, they only have 2 team members. I do believe that one of the team members are not there. They weren't able to make it here. So let's see how they take this engagement. And I don't think Team Angita is even going to be going in for a fight. They're going to be playing it slow. They're going to be playing it safe. And this Ruckus don't even know. I'm pretty sure they do. They spotted out the Octane running across the top end. They just need to get themselves into a better position.
Yeah, and both these teams have been nullified. Take a look at where the zone goes. It goes into its Overlook and a little bit of Fragment East. The next ring is gonna be even worse. It's towards Village and the tunnels. Arm Power team. Yeah, these guys now control the tunnels to the north of Geyser. This could be great. We already have a team inside of Overlook, so these guys also could have a decent bit of advantage going into the next circle. But then there's teams like RakaZone, Team Bloodline, Team Ankita C, even Beg for Mercy for that matter. All these guys are very close to the Harvester area and they're all racing to the zone. It might just turn into a race slash a little bit of gatekeeping action if any of these teams decides to reach the zone first. But they won't be reaching. They'll be fighting right here, right now.
Who's on the other side, though, is the real question. Team RakaZone, they're in a pretty good spot, but they're just not wanting to go in for this fight. They're like, nope, we ain't doing this. We're just gonna run away. We're gonna get into a better position for ourselves. A Beg for Mercy, I don't think that they're not gonna give any form of mercy down to their opposition here. Team RakaZone, they need to run on away. They need to try and find themselves into a better spot. But Beg for Mercy, they need to make a decision here. They cannot go in for this engagement because you need to remember something. Team Ankita is right behind them. Yes, they're only a 2-man squad. They still will be able to make a difference here if they do play their cards properly, if they do go in for the re-engagement here. But Beg for Mercy, this is a really dangerous play that you're trying to make. Very ambitious, but at the same time, it could work out and give you a couple of kills that you need to shoot yourself up when it comes down to the terms of the ranking. They won this fight, but is it a right decision here, Chris, is the real question.
How far now it seems to be the right decision. Nobody else next to them. Every other team just trying to race into the zone. They have only 40 seconds left, so if they start this fight, they better finish it quick. Otherwise, the ring will really start to hurt. And keep in mind, after this, it's the 3rd ring. And this ring is something that you cannot survive in if you're stuck outside. You'll basically be choking to your death if that happens, and they can already sense the danger. They can already sense the delays. They tried to finish this fight before it even started, but so far they haven't found too many results. But now maybe things are starting to look up. The first knock comes through. 1 unit's down on the ground. More people cracked inside, and Team Beg for Mercy have the HP advantage. They try to escape. RakaZone tries to escape, but the Mastiff will put them down on the ground. No more racing for you, fellas. Your journey ends here.
Yeah, you can't race against the Axebacks. This guy is on the Octane for a reason. Speedy and proficient. He is that silent assassin to take down their opposition. But at the same time, Team Mackle, they're right around the corner, I do believe. They should be able to take them down, but they're not that close. Not just yet. They're just going to be playing it slow. They're just going to be playing it smart. They have the circle under their control. There's the other circle, the next circle, sorry, is right behind them as well. So the rotation path is clear as well. They can play it slow, they can play it smart, play behind the tower, go in for the full damage, waste out as many resources as you possibly can off your opposition, and then keep the fight rolling in your favor. Team Mackle, they need to make a decision though, because there's one team on their left, there's one team on their right. It's either go fast or go home as of right now. And Arm Power Gaming, they already lost out on 2 of their members, and Salomai is the last one that needs to make the difference here. It's gonna use the Raid Teleport to get into a better spot, but just not gonna.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. No way you're hiding in that situation. From the top, we have Team Mackle shooting everyone down. But what's funny is that even Team Bloodline tried to get a little piece of the action. Didn't find some, but that's a completely different story. At this point, because Team Bloodline fired, Mackle are now aware about their position. And take a look at this. Overlook is no longer in the circle. We are starting to move towards the tunnels. Mercy now starting to enter. Team Ankita might just face their nemesis right here. Ankita versus Sick Warrior on the cards inside the tunnels.
This is where the real fun is gonna begin. It's gonna be Sick Warriors versus the side of Team Bloodline. Who's gonna be the ones to win out here? Shots are gonna be taken! And it's gonna be Sick Warriors to take out the other side. There's not much that they could have done here. They're not gonna be able to survive this whatsoever. That's gonna hurt them just a tiny little bit. But at the same time, Sick Warriors, they're playing a Watson.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
That's rare.
And exactly, it is super rare. Like, not just in competitive, but in every sense of the game. Watson is probably the least picked character. Less than Rampart too. But funny enough, the circle moves towards the tunnels, and guess what? If you got Watson covering every door, every little crevice, this could be great. No other team will be able to enter this area at all. And at this point, Watson's better than the Caustic for the simple reason you have no limit to the number of traps you can place on Watson, but on Caustic, there is a limited number of traps you can place. If you want to cover the entirety of the tunnels area, then Watson might just be the perfect pick. I don't know if they could sense the circle moving in this direction before the game even began, but this is ingenious, whether it's by luck or whether it's by design.
It does happen though. They're in the best possible spot. And I'm a pretty big Watson simp for other reasons, of course. But at the same time, I personally love Watson as a character. When she first came out, it was really difficult to get a lot of value out of her. But then she had a period where she was picked up quite often, even in professional play, because of the amount of utility that she does provide. But now she's fallen off. There's a lot of other great characters. The meta has shifted over towards the Octane, over towards the Gibraltar. They're a lot more potent in what they do, allows you to be a lot more aggressive and play for the kill points. But if you want to have a really, really slow game, then Watson's just an incredible character in general. You can play it a lot more differently. She's a lot more dynamic as well. You can hold down multiple different sidelines properly. And if you have a proper building to work with, then there's nothing that they can do. The thing about a Caustic is that it's really easy to go in and get a lot of value on them. But here, it's not as much. Moving down the line here, though, we'll talk a little bit more about the Watson later, because Team Mackle, they're going in for their own engagement, and they're going in for their own fights here. Did spot out one of the squads near the tunnels, but they know for a fact they shouldn't go for it, because another squad should be holding down on their left-hand side building. It's about playing it slow. It's about playing it smart, because if Team Mackle over-aggress here, if they die out too early, they're going to lose their chance of shooting for that number one. They need to get a proper win right here and right now, because Team Ankita, they don't have firepower on their side. They're just playing for the placement points with their two members. So Team Mackle is the best possible opportunity that they have to go in for a win. And now look at what Proj has in his hand. I didn't even notice that initially. That's a golden R301. A golden R301. If you don't win with this, I don't know what you're going to win.
Recall's almost non-existent on this bad boy. Sick Warrior in the tunnels. Mackle on top of the village houses. Where's the third team? That's the only information that we need, and then we'll have a game on our hands. Unfortunately, Sick Warrior won't be able to stay in these tunnels for too long. There's only a little bit of this area left in the zone right now, so they can probably just chill on that entrance. But now, Team Mackle has a Kraber. And the moment anyone from Team Sick Warrior shows their faces from those tunnels, they'll eat a Kraber bullet to the face, and this could be disastrous. They've got the zone to themselves too, decent amount of control over the entirety of village. They have information on one team. They can even predict where they'll come from, right? There's like 2-3 entrances to those tunnels areas, and they can predict exactly which door they'll come from. But what they don't know is the location of the third team. That's literally the only thing missing, and now we know what's happening. You've got Team Beg for Mercy. These guys are also on the other side of the hill, so they can still make it in if they go around this cliff. All the way from the right side. Team Sick Warrior inside. Beg for Mercy. They probably won't even participate in this battle. And while we had a very early start to all the kills in this game, it was a very fast finish right from the get-go. All the teams going down. The ending is going to be super, super sticky and slow. Unless they go into the tunnels and try to fight them. Okay, this is unexpected. Sick Warrior getting challenged inside.
Yeah, but they are going to get challenged, though, Jacobs. Just imagine a situation. Them not being challenged here would be pretty bad. Oh my god, the alternator's doing so much damage. They're gonna be able to shut down one of the players. They're just gonna go in for the push. And that
Man.
they still have positions to work with. They're not in the best possible spots. They need to back on off. They need to heal themselves back up to full because this engagements that they're taking, this is pretty much inviting the squad for them. But no, these are the last two squads remaining. I didn't even notice one of the other squads already did die out here because of the opposition team. And now it's all up to these two squads. Who's going to be the one to win everything out here? Positions are good. Positions are strong. But is it enough for the side of Sick Warriors to go in for the win here? Team Mackle, they know. They just need to get out of here. They have the better positions if they play from the outside. And hey, they can't get out of here anymore. Because if they do, they're going to get shot from like 3 different angles.
Oh, multiple different angles. They have no idea where the enemies are. They can probably scan them after like 10-20 seconds. But even after that, what do you possibly do?
Circle. That circle.
It's gonna shrink
it's over.
on
It's
top of
over.
Mackle. Oh, Sick Warrior has to get out from that place. And here's the funny thing, if Sick Warrior's team had a Kraber or something, this would have been a little possible because, you know, they can still get a knock and jump outside. But then, now the moment they show their faces, Northern Breeze is gonna have a mouthful.
Northern Breeze's jump pad that just got destroyed. He's like, nope, you ain't coming back here, boy. Just stay there. Come on, go in for that kill, Northern Breeze. This is all up to you. You just need one knock. Not gonna be able to find it though, and now the positions are just gonna be bad. They need to run on away, and somehow, in some way, shape, or form, Sick Warriors are making this happen. This is an intense one versus one battle between these two squads. They have one building on their side, and the other one has another building on theirs. The resources are present as well. The grenade though is absolutely beautiful. Back shot from the side of Brunch. He's looking for one more. He's just throwing it up there like Kobe style, baby. He's still alive. He's just gonna be able to find it with that grenade. They're gonna be able to dodge it out. But that's a lot of damage being done. That's so much resources being gained for their side. But at the same time, still, side of Team Mackle, they have the better position. They have nothing to worry about here. They can just wait. They can just chill. They can just go for the pokes. The better that they poke, the better positions that they're going to be at. But at the same time, look at the Watson ultimate being placed here. They don't have to use any shield batteries. They can just wait. They can go for the poke battles. They can heal themselves back up to full. And they have still nothing to worry about. The zone's just going to be coming on down in. And I think that this is going to be a zone battle. The zone is going to be the only thing that pushes them in. There's nothing else that's going to stop them.
The only thing that could solve the problem or maybe change the whole dynamic is the presence of the Kraber. It's kind of funny how Team Mackle has the alternator and the Kraber. They have so much going on for themselves. Now, unfortunately, all the grenades that Team Mackle have been used up already, right? I mean, those nades, they did connect, but all the other ones were basically countered because of Watson's ultimate. So, no utility damage for the side of Team Mackle available either. Both these teams on top of rooftops. The fact that Team Sick Warrior is allowed to come out of those tunnels itself is something that Team Mackle will regret. But I'm starting to sense a little bit of lack of ammo on the side of Team Mackle. Like, I do know that Mackle himself is running a Volt and he barely has like 2 magazines worth of bullets left. The alternator also down to the last 2 mags. This could be disastrous. And I hope this doesn't turn into a war of attrition of sorts. It would be really,
once
really
again,
unfortunate.
are you serious?
Northern Breeze trying to go for the flank place. This could be interesting. He's trying to hit
so-
them from the side. And he's got the Kraber too. If anyone shows themselves, this would be amazing. They know where he is. But what do they do about it? They have the information for Team Sick Warrior. This information is not actionable. At this point, Team Mackle are just trying to find favorable angles and trying to corner them into a little blimp, into a little crevice of that house. By covering all these multiple angles, Sick Warriors, the map is shrinking around them, and Team Mackle, they want to get this thing under control. They want to force them into a corner. Will they be able to do so?
It's just not going to be happening here. Not like this, because the circle's the only thing that will decide everything here. But the thing is, Team Mackle, they're the best possible spot. They got the first initial tag already, Mackle. They did it. They're going to be going in for it. They're hungry for the win. Come on, kill them out. Northern Breeze gets one with the Orange Star. He might need to finish everything off as well. 1 by 1, the side of Sick Warriors are in the worst possible position. They need to run. They need to hide. They need a miracle to try and bring this one back. And it's all up to Shim. If Shim is not able to find something for his squad, this is all but over for him. The Kramer did the damage. And now Team Mackle, they're hungry for the victory here. Shim's going to be coming around the corner. He wants to try and take down one more. He gets taken out as well. And now it's all up to the last members. What much can he do? He's still alive. Sick Warrior is able to make something happen here. Mackle is slowly shot. Pulls out another gun. Will he be able to win? Runs out of ammo. It's all about the fisticuff fights. No more bullets to work with. They're going to be able to reload. Oh my god, what is happening? The rooftop battles are still going on, but still the EVA 8 is way more better than the rifle here in this situation. The shotgun wins it all out, and the ending fight, though. Oh my god, what just happened here?
My god, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Someone call an ambulance, but not for me. I'm pretty sure Mackle will need it himself too. He almost had a heart attack. I mean, it came down to Sick Warrior and Mackle, the two captains themselves, and both of them running out of bullets, almost trying to punch each other to death. And what the funny part is, they're on the edge of the roof of the house, and this roof, you can see through the glass over here. You can see what the other guy is doing, and both of them are staring at each other, reload. Both of them are pre-firing through the glass, and oh my god, it came down to the tiniest sliver of HP. What a close game. We saw a super aggressive start, all the teams quickly finishing each other off, but then we kind of hit the brakes towards the end, only to go from 0 to 100 right at the end once again. It was fast, slow, fast, and oh my god, this kind of a roller coaster, I don't think my heart can take it anymore.
Yeah, man. Like right at the very end, I didn't expect any of that to happen. Suddenly, everyone was said it was just Mackle and Sick Warriors to try and bring everything back. Both of them started going in for those shots. They tried to go in for the clips, but right at the very end, the shotgun was just better than the rifle in that situation. Sporal Sick Warrior, if he just reloaded his shotgun in that situation, I'm pretty sure he could have taken that kill against Mackle, but he just didn't have the confidence to go in for it. Really unfortunate for him, but at the same time, Mackle, he got a really good clutch right at the very end. And now Team Mackle, they start off day number 1 with a bang, and they should be able to take down the side of Team Ankita as well. Because when you consider the amount of kills that they have gotten throughout the entirety of the first game, they have a lot. They can easily go above that 20-point margin that they need to try and break themselves into that number 1 position. So nothing to really worry about there. But at the same time, we have to worry about the side of Team Ankita because they didn't really have any players on their side. They were playing it very slowly. How many placement points did they get is the real question. But we'll talk more about that later as we head on down over to the match highlights right at the get-go to try and break down this map from all the way from the start all the way up till the very end. And Trips, yeah, the entirety of the first half was just a lot of kills being spread across all over the map. The action didn't stop at all until the very last circle. The teams were playing it super well, but at the same time, this was the most Apexy Apex game that I've seen in a really long time. Not professional Apex, but Apex.
Exactly. Yeah, my sentiments exactly. You stole the words right out of my mouth. This is typical Apex. I mean, so many fights, so many third parties. We saw a 4-team battle in the northern tunnels. Then we saw Sick Warriors team trying to duke it out. And it almost came down to the wire over here, but they were able to wipe out Hydraflick's team in the Skyhook area. Team Beg for Mercy, though, they tried to pick up a fight over here, right at the edge of this harvester area, in between the passes, but they were able to eliminate RakaZone as they were trying to escape. Later on, as Beg for Mercy tried to come inside, they were the team who could have gone for a third-party situation. We had Sick Warrior inside the tunnels, Mackle outside the tunnels. Beg for Mercy's team tried to come inside, but Sick Warrior dealt with them. And somehow, Sick Warrior's team was able to get out of the tunnels as well, even though Team Mackle was trying to gatekeep them inside. But this Kraber, this was the one that made all the difference.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to say that Sick Warriors, they actually pulled off a miracle here, being able to take it down to a 1 versus 1 situation like that. They nearly pulled off something insane, but the Octane trying to go in for a kill against a down target really did do a lot of issues here. But look at the death box, man. The death box saved Sick Warrior so beautifully. His movement was so good to try and survive this. One fisting of battle, one punch to the face was all that he needed to maybe shut down Mackle. But in this situation, you can see that the weapon was just not in his favor. There's not much that you could have done there to try and survive. And hey, right at the very end, Sick Warrior, if he just had a shotgun to work with, things would have been a lot more different. But Mackle, with the EVA 8, was able to come out on top and get that first initial win for his squad. I think his entire squad's going to pat him on the back for that. He got that win. He got that play for himself, and beautifully done from his team Mackle here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you would expect from a player of his caliber, and that's exactly how he delivered it all. Good start for day number 2. But at the same time, they cannot get a little bit too comfy here because this match got way too close for no reason.
Oh, exactly. And we spoke about how Sick Warriors team is really good at fighting the other teams, but they just can't survive the third party situations. Well, this might just prove everybody wrong. They were able to deal with the third parties in a very nice way. Of course, they didn't win the match in the end, but that's completely okay. They had a bunch of kills. They were killing teams right from the start. They were also able to eliminate Hydraflick and Skyhook, and then they came second. So this is already a much better start than all the performances yesterday. And I think things are starting to look up for the side of Team Sick Warrior. But then for Mackle himself too, after getting overtaken by Ankita C and Beck for Mercy, I think this is a very important win for Mackle. Not just because he himself flushed it out, not just because the captain stepped up, it's also going to serve as a confidence boost to his team. Because imagine having a Kraber and an alternator and then not winning. That would have been absolutely heartbreaking. But Mackle, who was on the number one spot at one point yesterday, is starting to come back to the top once more. He's trying to catch up with Ankita C.
Yeah, Ankita, I do believe that they had an unfortunate accident on their side and they were not able to get their third player in. Sometimes Apex servers can be like that, but there's not much that we can do here. It's Apex, so you're gonna have some disconnect problems. But they did a really good job. They tried to survive up till the very end. They tried to hold onto their positions for as long as they possibly could to try and get a little bit of placement points for their side to keep themselves relevant throughout the entire thing. And I do believe they do have enough placement points to keep their number one position because they have a pretty good start for them. So let's head on down over towards the group standings here and see exactly how the sides of the teams are holding up on when it comes to the standings here for the first initial game of the day. Game number 6 standings, when
Oh,
you
look at that.
see it, Sick Warriors, they actually have 20. Team Mackle on a 12 and 7. I thought they had a lot more kills, but it works out for them. And Team Ankita, they have 5 placement points. Pretty good. So,
Yeah, Ankita doesn't need the points. She's already in the lead. Plus, with only two people, there's not much that you can do in a team game like this. Hydraflick gets ahead of them. Sure, he died out to the hands of Sick Warrior and Skyhook, but he was able to get a decent amount of kills in that northern tunnel fight. And, he fourth partied on, I believe it was T-Bone, Robo, Shriman Legends, and one more team present over there. I can't remember who's the third team. Oh, wait, there were only three teams. So, yeah, he fourth partied on that fight and he was able to get all those kills. So that basically brings the 5 kills of Hydraflick. Arm Power, for that matter, also was able to win a couple of fights near Geyser and then head over into the tunnels. I believe he lost out to Beck for Mercy later on. But other than that, other than the Beck for Mercy, Mackle, and Sick Warrior, every other team in single digits over here. So that's a little unfortunate.
yeah, it wasn't as expected, but at the same time, Sick Warriors and Team Mackles, they deserve a pat on the back. They did incredible right up till the very end. But Sick Warriors getting 11 kills, man. They were super aggressive throughout the entire game and they were able to prove themselves here. Getting 20 points without even winning, it's a really good call for them. Back for Mercy, though, with 13, it's kind of expected. They did really well. They were consistent throughout the entire game, but right at the very end, getting in for much more of an over aggressive push kind of cost them pretty much everything here. Arm Power, though, is the biggest surprise. Them getting 7 points, I thought that they didn't get a lot of kills in general, but I was proven wrong. They actually got a lot to work with here right off the get go.
Oh yeah, so that's good too, right? We have all the other teams also stepping up, which kind of makes the competition a little better. Let's be honest. I mean, up until yesterday, there were like 3, 4 teams who were doing all the work, who were doing all the heavy lifting. Everyone else was just playing catch up. In fact, they were not even trying to play catch up. At one point, they were just trying to play hide and survive. So yeah, that's how bad the point disparity was yesterday. But now that all the other teams are stepping up, now that Arm Power, they try to show a little bit of their dominance. Now that teams like RakaZone also start to get a couple of kills, things will start to get a little bit more even, and the entire server just becomes a lot more competitive, which is great because we want these teams to kill each other, slaughter each other. I mean, I know I sound like a little sadistic guy right now, but hey, I like watching these guys kill each other, so why not?
Yeah, it's all about the streamers battling off against one another to showcase exactly who has the better aim, who has a little bit of that extra BM sort of flavored on top, and who can just take out their opposition as quickly as possible. Yesterday, you saw Sick Warriors, they absolutely dominated T-Board, and then they went in for an execution when they had full shields. If they didn't have shields, I would be like, hey, it's completely fine. They just wanted to get that recharge back without using a shield battery. But T-Bone, yeah, he got BM'd out pretty badly from the side of Sick Warriors, but hey, they're all close friends. They do their friendship dances together, and it's completely fine. We don't really have to worry about any of that. But as game number 2 is getting prepped up and ready here, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to ask you, Trips, do you think that it's going to be following the exact same pace as the first initial game, or will it be something a little bit
Hmm.
more different here? Because in my eyes, I personally do believe with game number 1 being this fast right off the get go, a lot of the other teams, they're going to be spreading themselves out a lot more and going back to their old habits of day number 1. Because day number 2, it felt like a lot of the other squads, they were defaulting back to a much more puppy style of Apex. And with the first initial game, they're all warmed up and ready. Things could slow down a bit.
Things might just slow down. I mean, if not slow down, I just hope they are paced more evenly. We had too many teams dying out at the start, a little bit of a lull section towards the middle, and then a heated battle towards the end. I just hope that the action is more spread out evenly throughout the game so that we get to relish it at a decent pace. Either way, decent paces can only come in certain types of circles. I mean, this was a really brutal one with the circle shifting all the way towards the corner of the map, very close to village. So yeah, all the other teams who drop in the extremities, like let's say Thermal Station, Skyhook, and whatnot, they're gonna have to travel a lot of distance to get to that place, and that kind of is the reason why all these teams died out very early on. While they were trying to cross over those little choke points towards landslide and towards the staging areas, yeah, I think that's where a lot of teams basically ended up fighting each other. And that one place where Beg for Mercy laid siege on RakaZone's team, that little corridor, close to Harvester, that's probably one of the most treacherous passes in the entire World's Edge map. And if you're starting a fight over there, you can definitely expect a third party. Now, it was funny how we did not see a third party over there, in fact, but usually that's like the heaviest traffic region of the entire map. And if the circle keeps on shifting wildly towards the extremities like this, then all these teams will be forced to travel a lot. And obviously, more travel equals more risk, equals more fighting.
Yeah, they're playing their cards so beautiful here as well. Every single time the circle is in a pretty precarious position, a lot of the other teams who are much more reliant on their positioning always go in for rotations immediately. They try to find the towers that showcase where the next circle will be at, and it's all about the information game. The more information that you have, the better your positions are going to be. And Team Mackle, they played that beautifully. They played based upon the information. Yesterday, they were playing a lot more based upon their gunfights, and today there was a massive shift in their playstyles. And this is the shift that you really want to try to see every single time, because the thing is, the game of Apex is not about who has the better gun skill. It's a game where who has the better positioning. Even if you have the worst gun skill in the entire world, you still will be able to get a win if you have the better position in comparison to your opposition. Because if you just do a little bit of cover fire, they're going to be scared. They're not going to be swinging out of the corner anymore. They're not going to be running across the field to try and kill you. They're still going to try and get themselves into a hidey hole where they can take a much more favorable engagement. It's all about the pressure. The more pressure that you are able to apply while keeping yourself safe, the better you're going to be playing Apex overall throughout the entire day. That's what I really hope is going to be going on down through in game number 2. The teams need to understand it's all about the positioning. Try to play based upon the information. The circle towers are there for a reason. The beacons give you an idea of where the circle is going to be at. Use it properly. Take it to your own advantage moving on down the line here. But at the same time, Chris, do you think that the legend selections this time around is a lot more favorable for the fast-paced engagements, because I see a lot of the different teams, they have taken much more different agents depending on their playstyles. We even saw Mirage from the side RakaZone, and they were
Yeah.
actually running a caustic and Gibraltar yesterday.
Yeah, so we've seen everything, right? We've seen the Revenant Octane combination as well. We've seen the Gibraltar Caustic. Yeah, but I think today, now that the whole, pace is setting in and the lobby's getting used to each other, we'll see all these people just go back to their old comfort characters and pick up the legends that they're comfortable with. Like Mirage, for example, has absolutely no place in the competitive meta. But hey, if RakaZone's good at it, then he's gonna play it. He's gonna bamboozle some people, and he'll use those bamboozles to hunt for information too. I mean, I've seen people try to use Mirage as a recon character. I mean, out of all the legends in the entire game who are very well suited for this one, Mirage being a recon character, that's just ridiculous. And I've seen people do it, even though he's not built for it technically. So as long as you're comfortable with the character, it's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of expected. So a lot of people do like Mirage for that very reason. And hey, he has a lot of cracking jokes that we can always truly love and sometimes get annoyed by as well throughout the entire game. But the bamboozles are pretty good. The thing about Mirage is that a lot of people don't know that you can get a lot of value out of him. You can get a lot of information out of him, but it's really difficult to do it. But people who
Yeah.
can do it, it's really good. And now with game number 2 ready and prepped up, ladies and gentlemen, the teams are now jumping on down. And let's really see where exactly they're going to be headed for today in this matchup. You see there's a massive spread of people all across the first initial line. On Thermal Station, they actually have 2 teams. It's going to be the side of Team Bloodline going up against another squad. Who are they is the real question.
All right, this could be interesting. They've barely found the guns, but they started to fight each other already. Scorpion, he's going to be the one to take the first engagement. PK Bobs, 2 of the people trapped inside this little room, and the first knock comes through. Tamim, Kratos, both of them eliminated. And we just have one more player left from this team.
I don't think
Where
there'll
is...
be one more player. I
Is
heard the
there? Oh,
sound
no,
of the
wait.
entire
Oh, yeah.
squad. A little bit.
That squad fell. Yeah, so... Wait, were there only 2 people in this squad? Oh, once again, a team loads in with only 2 members. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt them just a tiny little bit there. But I guess, it's the situation sometimes. You don't have that third member in, they don't load in properly. That's just Apex for you. It can cause a lot of issues when it comes down to the loading. Like, I have it all the time. That's why sometimes when I play with my friends, I tell them, do you guys have a lot of free time on your hands? Because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to load in for the first 2 games. But hey, once we do load in, we get a lot of champions, so they're really happy.
Cloudline, now that he's able to win the fight in Thermal Station, has pretty much the entirety of the southwest sector for himself. Nobody else present close by, so that's great. Tremon Legends has changed his drop location. He went inside the tunnels last time. Yeah, never going there again. Now he's inside Climatizer, one of the newer areas of this map. And hey, he's got all 3 players this time too, so that's great.
It'll work out, but at the same time, they cannot get over the complacent of their positions. They do have a golden shield on their side on Deliverance, but are they going to be able to use it properly to the best of their own abilities? Because golden shield allows you to be super aggressive and allows you to jump into fights that you really shouldn't really be taking. Because you can either use it for hyper aggressive engagements where you can super heal you can mega heal yourself every single time and get in and out of fights constantly, create a lot of space for your teammates, then push in behind you and allow them to take a lot more of those engagements. Or you can keep the golden shield on a character you're normally sniping on, and the snipes will allow you to constantly go in and out of fights a lot more quicker than your oppositions whenever they're trying to shoot you down. These are some of the things that they really do need to consider. What do they really want to do here? But considering Shriman Legends and the thing that they have been doing previously, they're going to possibly take things a lot more slower and not overcommit to a lot of their angles here. But RakaZone, they're already going in for their first initial fight on their own engagement here on towards the side of village. I do believe this is one of the villages.
Okay, RakaZone going into Big Mod, one of the newer areas of this place, and I love this place. They're already about to start fighting, but hey, in this place, you can buy the new weapons, and they're all golden most of the time, either golden or fully kitted out to purple, so I love this place. It's probably one of the best loot areas in the map right now.
Kind of expensive though, especially when you consider your lives. This is a highly contested area. One player's gonna get swatted out as well. RakaZone did deal a good amount of damage, but that's just the Revenant Ultimate. The Revenant Ultimate gets a lot of information. The positions are just gonna be good, but oh no, the Revenant Ultimate just gonna run out at the wrong time. Dr. Evil gets taken out as well by 1 unit, but at the same time, positions are gonna be good. It's gonna be the side of Team T-Bones on this end. They're getting pushed from multiple different sidelines, and they need to be very careful of how they try to survive this one. Team Unit, they're going to be able to take down Dr. Evil, and this is Team Sway, I do believe, and Team Sway, they already lost out on one of their members this early.
Yeah, this could be bad. Arm Power, on the other hand, now they're also starting to fight just to the north of Lava City, inside that tunnel. Now, because they've spotted a team inside the tunnel, they can choose to avoid it. But Arm Power, they're trying to get outside and challenge back for mercy. This could be big. Axpact very low on HP. Fat Monster trying to get a little bit of attention diverted towards himself. He's trying to make sure that they are not able to make the crossing towards that building, but they're going to make it nonetheless, providing Axpact with even less time to heal himself. And he's kind of separated from his team right now, so there's not much that Fat Monster and Mercy can do to rescue him, except for maybe go and fight with him and hope that he's able to live to survive the... just hope that he lives and survives this one. But it's a little difficult considering how spread out they are. The trading potential is starting to dwindle.
Yeah, they just need to run. Just cut your losses, get out of here. Give up this position. You don't want to be here, but already there's another squad trying to push them out here. Oh no, Mercy, he misses out on those shots. That's going to hurt him quite a lot. His squads that are going to get picked off. One on the front, one in the back. But it's all up to Fat Monster. Fat Monster, he still has a lot of bullets to work with. That's 120 on one, and he's going to be able to save his entire squad. Beautiful job from the side of Fat Monster here, ladies and gentlemen. But they need to be careful. They know for a fact there's another squad right around the corner. The Mirage is trying to bamboozle someone. But Fat Monster is like, nope, we're getting out of here, boys. Can you just crawl over to me? You still have enough time. Even if you die out here by another squad pushing you, I'm still going to be the one to pick you back up. But I do believe Back for Mercy, they can easily pick themselves back up, get themselves onto full HP, go in for the loot kills, and get themselves in a better spot later on. But Team Hydraflick, they're in the worst possible position. Sick Warriors, they're right around the corner, and this could just be another fight that they could win.
Oh my god, this is so intense. Hydraflick almost got it, but no. Sick Warrior will once again beat him to the punch. The second time these teams are facing each other in a completely different area. This is a little to the west of the whole Skyhook area, and no, not to the west, a little to the east of Skyhook, but hey, it's still the northern sector of the map. Hydraflick, Sick Warrior face each other again, and once again, Team Sick Warrior comes out on top. But this fight, the moment it ends, another one's about to start. And a nice stick on the Arcstar. They're also connecting the shot to the Thermite, and the Hulkbuster has just been eliminated without even getting a chance to fight back. Brudge with double already. And that's it. Team Harsh Khailre, they're out of the picture within a matter of 10 seconds. You see, that's the kind of fights that you need to go for. You need to be able to finish these fights the moment you pick them up. If a fight goes on for longer than 30 seconds, you're about to get third party, that's for sure.
You have to give it to Mackle, though. Like, this squad with Grudge, being able to take down 2 people just purely off of your grenades, not many can do that unless you're Grudge. But at the same time, you know, oh no, what am I looking at? Genius with a rampart? Well then, this is going to be an interesting fight for sure.
I know, right? We saw a Watson in the previous game. Now we're seeing a Rampart. All these legends who have very low pick rates, they're starting to come into the tournament now. And especially with the whole buff, you know, Sheila becoming mobile now. You're able to carry it around like one mini Rambo of sorts. Yeah, it is pretty potent. But I want to see how viable it is in a competitive tournament. It's pretty viable in pubs, where the results probably don't matter as much. But hey, let's see how much it will help them. If the circle moves towards those tunnels again, at that point the potency of the Rampart becomes even better, because then you can block out these entrances to some extent.
Positions are going to be good, but at the same time, Beg for Mercy, they have their own idea of what they really want to do with their positions. Their strong positions are good, but Beg for Mercy, they're in the worst possible spot. They're not inside of the zone. And they're getting gate kept so beautifully as well. Who's on the other side? It's going to be the side of Team Bloodline. Fat Monster, he's also in a pretty tough spot. They need to heal themselves back up to full. And Nan, they need to be the ones to try and pick up their buddy Beg for Mercy here. What do they do? Where do they run? Where do they hide? They have pretty much nothing to work with. Shots are going to be taken, but doesn't deal a lot of damage. No regs are going to be coming on down to one on the left, one on the right. Fat Monster does get that first initial shot, but Zone is right against them. They have nothing to do, and it's going to be Scorpion being able to take down all of the members of the side of Team Beg for Mercy single-handed. Gate kept beautifully there from the side of Team Bloodline. They're going to be in a position where they can take it all away for their side, but at the same time, they can't get too complacent in this one position, because soon enough, they're going to be the ones who get gate kept if they stay here for way too long.
Okay. I'm actually pretty happy that Bloodline is able to eliminate one of the stronger teams in the tournament. I mean, with Mercy out of the picture, I'm pretty sure that Mackle and Ankita's team will be very, very happy right now. Even Sick Warrior for that matter. But now they're trying to go up from Epicenter towards the climatized area, and this could be a very icky battle because of being in such an open area. SC118 YT has been down. Emo Raman Chopra hits the dust, and everyone's starting to fall right now. Okay, that's a very quick elimination. Very quick end to the battle.
Someone else is over there.
E-Bone's team is about to go up against this little cliffside, and if I'm not wrong, this is the place where Bloodline and you know, Beg for Mercy were fighting before. This is very close to Lava City, right? So they'll probably be coming in from that same area, except Team Bloodline's already left. Back towards the Fragment area, a little towards Overlook, we have Team Sway, and they've taken a very northern position this time around. Team Sway really like to keep switching up their positions now, don't they? Last time we saw them a little close to Harvester and Thermal Station, you know, a little towards the south of the map. Now they're all the way in Overlook. With all these people just going across, back and forth, it's gonna be really interesting if all these teams keeps on serving up their drop locations, and I don't know if Sequoia's team will expect them. They just finished a fight near epicenter. They wiped out Raman Chopra's team, and they are in the vicinity. They might just run into Sway's team if they continue going in this direction, but they change and they head to the tunnels instead. A place where they were before. Now they must be pretty comfortable with the tunnels, right? I mean, this was the position which got them to second place, so why not just keep on repeating what works? And the circle's in that position too, so it really kind of works in their favor. But
They
as
do
the
have
ring
a-
shrinks, even Team Sway is heading in this direction. So, yeah, they're literally standing where Sick Warrior was 20 seconds ago. 20 seconds. I'm not even kidding. This is how soon it is. I mean, their Bloodhound should be able to see their footsteps as well. Yeah, he's seeing all their footsteps. They know they're heading into the tunnels.
I don't think that Sway actually spotted out those footsteps. Not just yet. They have not even gone in for the scan. They're all just waiting. They're trying to understand what to go for, but as soon as that door opens, that's going to be a massive sound cue. Everyone
Yeah.
in the entirety of tunnels are going to be able to hear this, and with that, it's going to open up things immediately. But at the same time, Sick Warriors are going to be going in for their own engagement, bust out the doors, FBI open up, but at the same time, they opened it up a little bit too soon there. I think it's not going to be giving them a lot of value here. Shots are going to be taken. Not really a lot of bullets connecting, but the tracking's going to be good. Getting that first initial kill down on towards the side of Begum. Begum needs to take a back seat. And with that, Sick Warriors with the Revenant Octane combination, they're going to be able to get that first initial kill for themselves. And Team Ankita, they're in such a bad spot. What do you do here? What's going to get another takeout? And with that,
Begum.
last player remaining. There's nothing.
Yeah. And even that guy will be wiped out. So we have Begum, Ankita, and Flexi all wiped out. That's one team going down. But Sick Warriors team is out of the tunnels before Sway can get on their feet. Will they be able to get the revives in properly on time, though? Because Sick Warrior, these guys are about to catch them off guard once more. And, oh, this could be intense. They try to escape from the other side of the doorway. At this point, these narrow corridors become big choke points. That's it. Ankita's team out of this picture. Bloodline is here. Okay, that was unexpected. I
good
thought
night.
Sway will be the one who comes in and chases them down, but no, it's Team Bloodline instead, and they're under that protection, so they have nothing to worry about. Only one person sent back for now. Sneeze and Bloodline still hot on the chase. They have managed to get the knock onto Ravi Gang as well. So it's just Scorpion and Sick Warrior left right now, but where are they? Scorpion. Can he find the other guys though? Yes, with the scans, they should be able to at least confirm the kills, but where are the others?
Just gone, I think.
Just
Not
gone.
close. Poor old
Damn.
Ravi Gang though, but they just got left out for the wolves to eat him up slowly but surely. He's gonna die a painful death, but I do believe his buddies should be coming back soon enough to try and pick him up at the bare minimum. But where did they go is the real question. How fast did they run away? Because even the scan from the Bloodhound didn't catch them. Oh, they're inside of the tunnels. Is Team Ankita even here anymore? Oh, they're right above them. Oh, yeah, here comes the scan. Here comes the army.
I'm actually
Okay,
I'm actually very happy that Sick Warrior managed to escape from that position. It's great. I mean, considering there were so many teams right on your heels, the fact that you're able to escape with two men standing is a big achievement in itself. Gold helmet given to the Bloodhound. This should help them scan a lot faster. But they spotted out Team Sway with those scans. They know Team Bloodline was right outside the tunnel on the other side. This should give them enough information while trying to navigate these tunnels, because this is going to be their home now. And it worked for them last time around, but I'm not sure if it will do the same again.
The positions
Inside
are
of...
wrong though. It's gonna be the side of Team Mackle going in for that first initial engagement on their own turf. Got a couple of pop shots, they got that first initial kill. That's gonna be good for them. But at the same time, Sick Warriors are trying to gatekeep here. This gatekeeping could work, but at the same time, it could end really badly as well, because they don't really have a way of trying to go on towards the other side of the map instead of going inside of the circle. It is going to be LFT Genius getting shot out by one of the squads. He's trying to go in for a couple of pop shots. Did spot out one of the teams, but that's pretty much it. Everyone is in close proximity of one another, but with Geyser being the last circle position, I don't like this at all here, Crips, because this circle is one of the worst in my eyes if you try to go in for late game engagements without meetings.
Well, at least the circle does move in the favor of Team Mackle, so they have this one compound for themselves, which is kind of in the zone. They have a little bit of hard cover for themselves, which is good. They have two teams inside the tunnels on the north. We have, I do believe,
My
team.
God, Mackle.
Yeah, okay,
He's
that was a
glitching.
very risky move, though. They put down the tunnels over there. I'm sorry, the portals as well. So yeah, they have an option to get in and out of this compound if they so desire. But with every other team now trying to move in towards Kaiser, this thing could get a little bit sweaty.
It's gonna be difficult, but at the same time, it could just work out. I think I spoke a little bit too soon there. The caster's curse has acted up on them, but
Yeah. Two teams starting to fight each other. It's Bloodline versus Sway. Both them revealing each other's position. Will invite Mackle's team. Yeah, that's exactly what I was worried about. Mackle's team can start taking pot shots now.
But I think that this is what Team Sway want. They want another squad to go after them, but the Revenant ultimate has been popped and they're going in for the swing! And oh no! They hit the forehead of Scorpion! Poor old Steez! He wanted to place out the Octane jump pad, but Scorpion's like, oh, hello there! Let me send you a free cookie here, but the cookies are just not gonna be as tasty. The shots are gonna be taken, and there's gonna be another ultimate being popped as well from the other sideline. They're going in for the push, they're going in for the swing here, ladies and gentlemen! And they should be able to take down Team Sway without any form of problem. One stuck in the corner. Where do you go? Where do you hide? There's nowhere to go! And absolutely everything is black and white. And why did that rhyme? I have no idea. But now Scorpion is in a pretty bad position, but still his buddies are gonna be here to come in for that backup and shut down the last player from the side of Team Sway. With that, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a scrappy fight from the side of Team Bloodline, but still they were able to close everything down, take it back to their position, and they're going to be able to heal themselves back up as well. This was a really crucial fight for them and a really crucial win as well here, Chris, because now
Yeah.
they don't worry about the third party. They can completely focus on Team Mackle, and they cannot get third party anymore in this position.
Exactly, that's the best win right there. Yeah, sure, the jump pad missed. This could have been a little smoother. They've seen better days, but now the dangerous part is over. A four-way battle right now. Team Mackle once again have the zone for themselves. Oh my god. Looks like Lady Luck just wants to come in and sit on their lap. But it's already here. Now Team Mackle has found another team. The one only other squad who has a little bit of the zone advantage. They'll start to fight them first. Obviously, there is a chance of getting third and fourth partied as well. This is the last circle, and it's a bit too, you know, close for comfort. And they can see Team Bloodline start to push in. Thermite Grenade will push them off the door, trying to make them go a little inside. But now Mackle's team is a little trapped over here. They'll have to make use of these portal plays in order to get out of trouble. And they're just hoping that they can trigger a fight between Team Bloodline and the other team on that other side, and then get out of the picture when they get the chance. That will be the perfect manipulative gameplay. You get the other two teams to fight and then you step out of the action yourself, but you're kind of trapped in the middle of all of them, so there is nowhere to go.
Positionally, I don't really know how they're going to be pushing everything down here. Bloodline, they're right around the corner. They can't take this fight, but this is going to be really dangerous for them. Everything's going to need to slow down. They need to take their fight sparingly. They cannot, and I repeat, they cannot waste too many resources. As soon as they try to waste too many resources here, they're going to lose. They need to keep every single shield battery, every single shield cell to themselves and take no fights whatsoever. They just need to wait. There's a lot of squads still remaining. Sick Warriors is right next to the side of LG Genius and his squad. And they just got to wait. Shriya's getting so much damage. They need to be careful. They're stuck inside of the building. They need to push themselves out here as soon as the zone pushes them in. There's not really a lot of angles that they can cover, but once again, Team Bloodline, they're taking too many fights that they really shouldn't be taking. Shiva's going to be able to crack one of the players. That's going to send them back here. And LFG Genius and his squad is just stuck. They don't know what to do here because Team Mackle, they're having free reign over them.
Yeah, take a look at the positions of Team Bloodline. They are really spread out across multiple angles. They can have a lot of vantage points from this position. They should be able to spot out a lot of people. But they're kind of on the edge of the circle now, and they're kind of trapped. If anyone starts to throw grenades at them, they have nowhere to run. They will be forced out of cover into the open. So that's the only disadvantage that Bloodline have, of sorts. Other than that, this ring, it's headed for the center, straight where Team Mackle is now.
How?
You really wish to have a defensive lineup at this point. You know, something like a Gibraltar, Caustic, or a Watson would be amazing. Even the Rampart for that matter should be good enough to hold. But unfortunately, not a lot of these teams have these lineups. So let's see what happens. Bloodline now trying to push along the edges of the ring towards the left-hand side. They will run into Team Sickwater if they continue down this path. And there you go. Fights between Bloodline and Sickwater already started. But this four-way battle, I think it will come down to a massive, massive cluster team fight. And none of them will have any advantage of sorts.
Yeah, this is a four-way battle here. But at the same time, Team Mackle, they have the best possible advantage. Look at the zone. Look at where they are. The zone's going to push all of the squads into them, and they have the
Exactly.
building control. But the thing is, they need to be very careful because there's a Revenant ultimate online for the side of Team Bloodline. They can use that to go in for an engagement fight of their own, but at the same time, it could be a make it or break it for them if they're not able to finish up the fight really quickly. Because if an opposition team comes right around the corner, it's going to be dangerous. That slide from the side of Scorpion cost him a lot here. He's gonna need to pop himself a battery. The positions are just not gonna be good. Team Bloodline, they're gonna go in for the fight of their own. But
Healer.
the fight that they're trying to take, it's just not gonna be good. The heal needs to be coming on down through as well. They're getting shot from multiple different sidelines. They took the fight a little bit too prematurely. They needed to get into a better spot. They just needed to take a little bit more room control for themselves. And now Team Mackle, they're just taking them down piece by piece. And there's nothing that they can do. Team Mackle, they finish everyone off here. And Team Bloodline, they get taken out. It's gonna be 3 squads remaining now. And the other 2 squads, they only have 2 people each. And Team Mackle, they have the best possible advantage to take them all out here, Crips.
Yeah, but then there's a Rampart machine gun on the other side. The Sheila could be devastating in this situation. Let's see if they're able to actually get use of it or not. But no, the Rampart team, they're trying to get inside. But Sick Warrior, his team from behind, they will actually
that's
make
a
things
lot of
worse. And they get the knock onto Genius as well. Even Syria is down. Sick Warriors team, these guys might just have a chance of winning over here, but it's a 3 versus 2 battle. Yeah, they don't have ammunition, they don't have shield as well, and now Mackle comes in for the push. Raj with the first knock. Shiva's getting pounded by everyone else, and Mackle, these guys win it back to back.
Contact with hostile.
They take it all away, man. There's nothing more to say about that. Team Mackle, they had the better position. Just as you said, Lady Luck was sitting on their lap pretty much. Every single time the circle was going in their favor, they woke up on the right side of the bed. They have it all in the bag. They're bringing it all back onto their favor. And hey, if Team Mackle are going to be able to hit all the shots beautifully as well, there's nothing to really say about that. But at the same time, Sick Warriors, again, they're in that second position. Once again, they've shown consistency in reaching that top 3, but they were just not able to take the finish. I personally do believe that if they had a 3-man squad, this would have been very different. They could have gone in for the push together as a roster and completely shut down the side of Team Mackle, but them being in a 2 versus 3 situation and being able to knock not only the side of not only knock one of the players on the side of Team Mackle, but also get 2 kills as well in the process by taking out LFD Genius and Shreya. That was a really good play from their side.
Definitely. What's even more surprising is that the Rampart with the Sheila, it kind of created trouble for Team Bloodline to some extent because they were trying to dodge the bullets of that one, but they ended up running into Team Mackle. And it's just game number 1 all over again. At least in game number 1, Team Sick Warrior had a 3 versus 3 battle, so it was a little fair. But then Northern Breeze having the Kraber turned the tides around in the previous game. This time, they were up against a lot of teams and they lost their player to someone else. So when this finally started to fight Team Mackle, they did not have enough men, which is kind of something which happened last time as well. You know, they lost a player instantly to the Kraber. This time instead of the Kraber, it was another team, and history just finds a way to repeat itself.
Yeah. This was a beautiful play coming on down through from both of these squads, but right at the very end, unfortunate situations for the side of Sick Warriors. They didn't have the circle on their side. They didn't have one of their members available as well. And Team Mackle, they played it beautifully, went into their waiting arms of Team Mackle. What do? If you want to push Team Mackle, you got to worry about getting shot from like 3 different sides. There was a team on their right side, there was a team on their left side, and there was a zone behind them. So pick your poison. Do you want to pick Team Mackle? Do you want to pick the side of Team Sick Warriors? Or do you want to pick the side of LFT Genius and the Rampart just sitting there, choking you out pretty much every single time you want to go in for a push? Yeah, Bloodline, they had nothing to do here. An unfortunate situation for them. The zone was not in their favor. Nothing that they could have done. They're just going to sit there and wait. So let's head on down over to the match highlights here, ladies and gentlemen, and see the storyline from all the way to the very top and all the way to the very end here. Because all of these teams, they played their games beautifully, but at the same time here, Cribs, they left a lot to be desired for as well. This match was really good, but at the same time, kinda lackluster when you consider the pacing a little bit.
I mean, it was a decent game right from the start to the end. It was a lot more evenly paced out as well. The fights were frequent, but not one after the other immediately. So yeah, we had a decent game this time around. Of course, the ending was cherry on top of the cake, a 4-way finish.
Yep.
But then Team Mackle, they were set up for success right from the start. Like, take a look at how many teams they were fighting towards Fragment. And then one of the stronger teams, Back for Mercy, they got eliminated at the hands of Bloodline.
Like that just hurt them a lot because they didn't have the zone in their favor. Back from Mercy just couldn't see a damn thing at the very end there. The zone can cause a lot of problems, but Sick Warriors, man, this push was absolutely beautiful from their side. They were able to survive this one as well. They took down one of the other squads, and right at the very end, they got third party here by a fourth party. So the fourth party came in to try and kill them. They still got all of the kills, but right at the very end, Team Bloodline nearly took them out here. That was just gonna hurt. They took down one of their members. They were able to survive, but right at the very end, poor old Ravi Gang, he just needed to be left alone. His buddies could not pick him back up. But Bloodline, though, they should have been the ones to win everything out here, but I think that they shouldn't have gone in for such an aggressive push on the side of team. So it's actually good. They got the kills, they got the pushes down, they had everything, but they didn't try to take building control right after. If you know for a fact that Team Mackle, they're weak, why not go for a push immediately there? They could have done a lot more, but I guess at the very end, it's gonna be a difficult decision with so much pressure on you from multiple sidelines. You can't really make those decisions properly. You were just a little bit scared, hoping that the circle's gonna be going in your favor, but yeah, the Apex gods were just on your side.
Yeah, the Apex gods were on the side of Team Mackle. That's the best explanation that we have for this one. And I can't even blame the other teams. Like, they were kind of zone screwed. No matter where they go, there is death and destruction waiting for them. So now you just got to find out which team is it on the other side so that you can choose to give your points away to, some team who has less chance of winning or something like that. Or, I don't know, maybe even die to the zone and not give up any points at all. But then that would just be a little... That would be a little bit of a dumb move because, you're going down without a fight. So,
Hey, it's a 5-head move, man. Come on. Sometimes going in for those 5-head plays is better than trying to give your opposition a chance to push themselves forward up in the rankings. And then suddenly you look at the rankings and you're like, weren't we supposed to be the one on the 5th position? Why did we get dethroned and there's another spot on the 5th and we're on the 6th? You never really know. Sometimes giving away kills can cause a lot of problems moving on down the line where you really want to try and survive here. And the thing is, now that the squads have gone down on game number 1, game number 2, and possibly in game number 3, we're going to be seeing a massive shift in the pace of the matchup in my eyes. Because you know how I am. I always say that whenever it comes down to the first 2 games of the day, go ham, go in for kills, try and establish a lead as much as you can. After that, game number 3, 4, and 5, play it much more slowly, play it much more systematically, because then the points won't matter as much. You need to try and be consistent throughout all of the games that are left so that you can have a really strong finish to your day. And now with the finals being here, this is the final day, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing more for these streamers to do after this. So they need to go in for consistent play. So let's head on down over to the standings, ladies and gentlemen, and see who exactly has been the most consistent throughout game number 7. And it's going to be Team Mackle getting 22 points for themselves, but at the same time, dude, Sick Warriors. These guys are keeping toe and toe with Team Mackle, consistently getting points over them or consistently getting points across them as well. 22 points for both of these squads, Bloodline with 18 and Meow 16k. Actually being on a 7, did we even see them through the entire game? Oh yeah, it was LFC Genius and Shreya.
Yeah, those 2 guys. I mean, they picked up the unique Rampart. Honestly, I've never seen a Rampart in a competitive tournament.
It worked. Yeah. It worked. They got to.
It worked, yeah. And let's be honest. I mean, the Sheila could have been a game changer in a situation like this. You barely see an enemy for a second, and the moment the door swings open, you will have to deal out as much damage as possible. So why not? Yeah, I mean, why not pick up the Sheila? Plus, you need a defensive squad in a situation like this. If you've got the zone to yourselves, the Rampart could be of great use. So yeah, I'm not completely against it. In situations like these, in circles like these, the Watson and the Rampart, they become a little more relevant. If it's out in the open, like it was yesterday in that Harvester battle, yeah, at that point, those agents are like kind of useless. At that point, the Wraith becomes a lot more important, You can play around with the teleporter and just have some shenanigans going around like that. Even the Gibby, for that matter. So it really just comes down to who you pick. But here are the Game 7 standings, and Team Mackle and Sick Warrior are tied up.
Point discrepancy, dude. Just look at 3 and 4. 18 versus 7. And the sus now.
I mean, we have Sick Warrior and Bloodline tied in terms of kills, but then Mackle and Sick Warrior tied in terms of overall points. And yeah, sure, Mackle is able to get the win. He's able to get the dub this time around, but Bloodline and Sick Warrior, both of them really, really stepping up. And we did say that Sick Warriors team has the aggressive potential. They've just been kind of getting zone screwed and not able to play for placement points. And now look at them. They're always getting into top three. Hey, even Team Bloodline is doing really well. They wiped out Team Beg for Mercy this time around.
Yep.
Keep in mind, Beg for Mercy is also one of the stronger teams of the tournament. So if Bloodline has that much firepower under their hood, then we better watch out for them.
That's for sure. So let's head on down over to the overall standings here, ladies and gentlemen, to see exactly how the teams are looking when it comes down to the overall points. And it's going to be Team Mackle being able to take the number one position for themselves. Once again, they need 3 wins here finally, 2 consecutively for game number 1 and game number 2 of the number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen, with 112 points. Team Ankita, they had a very, very slow start here, only getting 4 points in game number 1 and also getting 4 points in game number 2. It's just not the best thing that you want coming out from them. 97 points. They're still able to get that second position, but to fall from base like that, it's going to be difficult. They need to pick themselves back up almost immediately if they want to keep that number 1 because they don't have a lot more chances. There's only 3 more games to go. They need to show up here and they need to show up now. But Sick Warriors, man, look at these guys. 91 points. They're right on the tails of Team Mackles and they're hot on their heels. If Team Mackle have one bad game, just one here, Trips, it's all over for them. Sick Warriors are going to overtake them, or even possibly the side of Team Anikita if they're able to pick themselves up here in game number 3. Beg for Mercy, though slow but consistent. They're keeping their position relevant. 75 points. It's not as much as you would have expected. They need one win to try and put themselves into the running for the number 1, number 2, or number 3. And for the side of Team Bloodline, it goes for the same for them. But at the same time, looking at the 6, 7, and 8 positions, they're far, far off the number 5. That's the thing. The 6th position is up for grabs, but trying to go in for the 5th position for Hydraflick, I don't know if that's going to happen.
But these guys are starting to move up in the world. At the start of the day, Sick Warrior was at position 5. Now he's in top 3. And Beg for Mercy, though, he's probably been the only team who doesn't have a good time in the last 2 games. I mean, they were in the top 3. Now they're slipping down to top 4. And look at the discrepancy in the points between Sick Warrior and Beg for Mercy from 91 to straight up 75. That's what happens when you have one bad game, just one bad game, and this is what it results in. But then Bloodline moved up in the world. Even Hydraflick for that matter. Yeah, sure, there is a massive difference in points between Hydraflick and Bloodline, but still, these guys are starting to step up. And I also love Bloodline. They are very close to overtaking Beg for Mercy. They already defeated Beg for Mercy in this game, in that battle near Lava City. And if they keep on doing it again and again, then Bloodline will be a very strong contender.
Positions are going to be good, but at the same time, it's not what we expect here as well. A little bit more change-ups from the side of Bet for Mercy could be massive here. The Loba is good. I won't say that the Loba's bad. Like, it's getting a lot of value. It's able to set up its teammates properly, Axbacks and Fat Monster to get a lot of different engagements for their side, but they need to be a lot more tactical in the way they push out of the zones because they got gate kept in the last game. Being gate kept like that, there's not much that even players like Axbacks and Fat Monster can even do to try and bring everything back onto their side. Positions were just on the greatest, and hey, moving on down the line, I'm really hoping they're going to be able to switch up their strategies and bring in something a little bit more different. But at the same time, Hydraflick, RakaZone, and Sway, they are making great strides, but they need to take even longer strides. Just put on their long leg boots, put on their high heels, and just go in for it. They just need to take a big leap and they need to take a massive win for themselves, possibly a 30-point game to put themselves up on the running once again to try to take away a couple of positions that have been taken by the opposition squads. The thing is, trying to get in for a 30-point game at this point is really dangerous and really hard as well. You need to try and consider something. You need to make a choice. It's either do I play super risky, constantly going in for pushes, trying to get as many kills as I possibly can while keeping myself consistent throughout the entire game, or do I switch up my play style entirely and just play it super methodical, super slow, and hope that the opposition team makes a lot more mistakes where they die out really early, and I can just play for my placement points, get like about 10 kills prematurely, get 22 points on the board, and just consistently keep on getting 22 throughout the entire day for the last 3 games, which is not really possible, but not at the same time impossible. So they can do a lot to bring it back onto their favor, but at this point, I don't know. The number 1, number 2, and number 3 positions are up for grabs. The number 4 and number 5 spots are going to be a little bit more difficult. It really does depend on how much the teams actually want it. And the number 6, number 7, and number 8, it's just, I don't know. It's
Gone in the wind.
Yeah, gone in the wind pretty much. Like I don't even know what to expect from them. This way.
Yeah, that every little step they take will be big for them. It's one small step for man, but it's a giant leap for Mackle kind if they keep on winning games like these.
That was very well said, though, Chris. Perfectly done from your side. And hey, you know what else is perfect here, Chris? A can of Red Bull. I need to get one myself soon enough. I'm gonna be scanning this QR code right after I go off it with the cameras and we go into the gate. Get myself that can, get myself energizing. You should as well, ladies and gentlemen, by picking that one up for yourself. Scan that QR code, get yourself a can of Red Bull. And also, as you're getting yourself a can of Red Bull, make sure to check out the links down below in the description because if you want to play like these pros, get yourself an LG Ultragear monitor because if you want to have that perfect crisp display, no pun intended, you gotta get you gotta get that LG Ultragear monitor because my boy Crips, hey, he got it in his name. He can actually vouch for me on this case.
Yeah, I can vouch for him. So go ahead and scan your Red Bull can. It gives you wings. Oh, speaking of wings, these guys are flying right now. The dropship is up in the air. The game is ready, and we are about to head into the third battle for the day. Let's see what happens over here. We have Team Mackle in lead, Sick Void and Ankita playing catch up. Everyone else just again, trying not to die right at the start. There are several storylines going on right now, and I think it's about to get a little spicier. Aggressive, I hope you brought her appetite with you.
Yeah, this has to be one of the games that we really am looking forward to because game number 3 is where everything's gonna possibly get set in stone. You know for a fact that if Team Mac will win here, Team Ankita, they won't really have a lot of chances to try and bring things back in their favor.
True.
Or if the side of Beck from Mercy are able to get a massive lead for their side, they're gonna be pushing themselves up towards the number 1 and taking it all away. Or it also could be the side of Sick Warriors who are really close as well onto their own accord of taking that number 1 position away. It all really does depend on this game and the performances we're going to be seeing from the squads here. Sick Warriors, I'm really hoping that they are going to be the ones to take everything away because if they do get a 30-point game, they've shown so much consistency throughout game number 1 and game number 2 that I'm really hopeful for game number 3 is where they finally break through the walls and take down the side of Team Mackle, finally being able to take it all away for their side. But considering how Team Mackle have been playing, consider their playstyle on day number 1. Day number 1, they were super aggressive. They were constantly going in for pushes. Day number 2, a lot more slow, a lot more methodical. They do not want to go in for a lot of fights. They understand that, hey, day number 2, we cannot play it risky. It's time for us to play it, so it's time for us to play it systematically. Will they do the same in map number 3, though, of day number 2 is the real question because it feels like it could just go horribly wrong for them, but you never know. It's a battle royale. It could go good, it could go bad, but at the same time, looking at the drop locations, every single one of these teams, they're spread out massively. A couple of teams spreading on across towards the side of launch side, 2 teams over towards Fragment East and Fragment West. But LFP Genius and Team Meow, they're right on the tails of another squad.
All right, so this could be good. Elephant Genius was able to get to the third place last time around, but this time they didn't load with their third member. There is no Meow 16k in the server. It's just Shiria and Genius. These 2 players, they're contesting the Predator building. Now, this could be big. It's very difficult to contest this building as is, but they are able to make it work. Oh, and the funny part is, this was a 2 versus 2 battle.
Hey, they're playing Arena, man.
I think both these teams just agreed, considering that they are just 2-man rosters. So they decided to duke it out in the streamer building, and sure, why not? This is probably as fair as these fights get for these 2 teams who are missing a member each.
Team RakaZone, though, they're in a pretty tough spot on their own accord. Not really the best of positions for themselves. They do have a Hemlock to work with, but RoboTM versus RakaZone, it's not going to be the best of spots. They're not going to be in the best of positions. Because now that the spots are being taken over like this, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. RoboTM's holding down from the back end. They're just not going to be able to go for pushes like that. Loba is there, and it could just work out. They need to get themselves a couple of ultimate points, though. They need to get themselves that Loba ultimate online as fast as they possibly can. They spotted out the start of Team RakaZone, but the scans are just going to be as good. Potency is there, but they don't have information to work with. No info is going to be hard for them to try and get something down here. Did spot on one of the players. He heard the footsteps, but come on, man. You just got to survive. You just got to run. But it's just not going to happen. Poor old Gamer Time gets taken out almost immediately. RakaZone needs to take a backseat as well. And the entirety of the squad's been taken out by RoboTM. They're now going to get third party, and another squad's right on the hill. They need to get out of here. They need to run almost immediately, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Loba's going in for the swing as well. They're just going to run. They're just going to hide. Get themselves into a better spot. Get themselves into the high ground. And just try and find a better position for themselves at least. But once again, there's another squad in front of them. They're just getting third party by the fourth party, by the third parties are going to be coming on down through as well. There's like over 4 squads in this one singular zone, one singular area though, I believe. And Hydraflick, they're one of the squads, but who's the other squad waiting for them on the other end? Robo TM, they're just gonna get taken out. There's nothing that they can do here, but thanks to Mercy, they're the ones hunting down the side of Team Hydraflick. But Hydraflick, they're just they do not have the better here. They need to run on away because back for Mercy, they were the ones to take down Robo TM, basically meaning that, hey, they're the ones who have the upgraded Evo shields. They're the ones who have the purple, so there is no chance that we're gonna win this fight.
Yeah. And
So it's
Beckham
not for us to win.
And Pick for Mercy's already wiped out a squad, so not only do they have, these purple shields, with them having 3 kills on just one person, that guy will be very close to achieving his red shields too. Hey, but that's good, right? I mean, finally we have a new contender. It does become a little bit exciting when Team Back for Mercy, who hasn't been having the best of days, when they start to come up on top. Axe back this time on the Octane. Mercy, as always, with the Loba. It's funny how he picks up Loba in all the games, and this could be big. We keep talking about resources, we keep talking about running out of ammo in the last circle, which could be a very embarrassing and annoying way to die. If you run out of resources while you're trying to go for one of these camp
That's
battles.
a third world problem, man. That's a third world problem, especially when you have a Lova. What do you mean by resources?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a very elegant solution to running out of resources. And we've seen situations like these, right? Game number 1, Mackle versus Sick Warrior. Both the teams just going up against each other. And Team Sick Warrior couldn't... I'm sorry, not Team Sick Warrior. Team Mackle couldn't go all out because they were starting to run out of ammo. So they had to be very, very conservative. That's probably the only reason why they were not able to gatekeep them in the first place,
this
too.
is beautiful.
But now we have Team Back for Mercy in a little bit of trouble. Finally, we're seeing a Horizon in the mix. We haven't seen a Horizon before, but it's about time somebody picks her up. Portals drop down to the ground, and they'll be ready to shoot down anyone who comes out from the other side of it. And it's Startup Guy, who finds himself out of the portal and out of the game too. Yeah, at this point, Back for Mercy are just toying around with him. They're just trying to make sure that Startup Guy doesn't reach the other side. Flexi will confirm the kill on Startup Guy, which is funny because he's from another team, which means that there's a third team in the mix somewhere over here. While all of this is happening, Team Mackle has started to fight against Meow16K's team.
Positions are going to be good, but at the same time, it's not going to be as great as you would expect it. Let's just see what they do here. They know for a fact that one squad's right in their front, so Back for Mercy, they need to make a decision. It's either go left or it's either go right. They need to make that choice, but it's just running on away. And I like this. Back for Mercy, they don't want to give anything away. They understand.
Yeah.
We need placement points. We need kills as well, but the placement points matter a lot more. Those are guaranteed points, but kill points could just get killed in the process as well if we get way too greedy. Better to get into a better positions. Better to wait for the squads to get off against one another and then go in for possible third parties. But Hirsch and his squad, yeah, they're right on the corner facing off against Hydraflick. Who's going to be winning here? Will it be the side of Team Hydraflick going on down in a 2 versus 3 situation, or possibly the side of Team Hirsch? Yeah.
They're burning alive. Harsh kill rate. All their teammates very low on HP, but I can say the same for Team Hydraflick as well. These are very evenly contested teams, but Hyperion manages to pull off an armor swap. That's amazing now. He's gonna be pretty healthy and he's trying to go for the res on Hulkbuster, but no! Hulkbuster will be down.
Corner, right?
I think so. Yeah, they were on the bridge just a few seconds ago. They fell back though. They went a little closer to Harvester, but no, they come back when they see these gunshots. Yeah, that's a third-party opportunity that they've been looking for. They knew for a fact that Hydraflick's team was somewhere around the corner the moment they tried to get that kill steal onto Startup Guy. But nah, Back for Mercy, they're very, very accurate with that timing. And the spray on Fat Monster. Oh my lord, that recoil control is ridiculous. The Volt running at that range, getting the kills onto Hyperion and Harsh Kalre. Yeah, without a sight. I mean, the Iron Sight is good enough on the Volt, unlike the Flatline, but then still, that was some ridiculously good recoil control. And we've seen these guys pull off stuff like this. We saw Prudge's recoil control with the R99 yesterday. Now you can see it with the R301 as he's beaming down enemies left, right, and center. And they're trying to gatekeep the other team too. This is a second ring. It does hurt quite a lot. And you're gonna chew through your resources very, very quickly if you try to survive this one. But Northern Breeze, he has no remorse, no chill. Trying to place a portal trap for his enemies and hoping that he's gonna be able to get in and out of cover as soon as he can. He wants these kills, and he knows that because he's fighting outside the zone, the chances of them getting third-partied in this location are not that high. Nobody will go out of their way, out of the ring, to third-party somebody else. But the moment I say that, Ankita is able to get the jump onto Team Sway, and Begum with the L-Star is melting people. This is a two-man roster, unfortunately, for them. Oh, and now the Revolt comes through. This is the opportunity they've been looking for, but no! A nade is tossed! And the moment Begum activates that ultimate, he's been sent back. And the moment he spawns, there's people on top of him. This is the trap! They survive.
They actually get it?
Ha!
Are you
What
serious?
a game. What a game. What a clutch by Team Ankita. Pulling off a 2 versus 3
cannot be
battle.
serious.
But the
Oh wait,
battle's not
Bacon's
over
still
yet.
going for it. He's going for it. He just doesn't care, man. He's gonna spray down one of the players. He pulls out though an 8x8 just to get the last kill down on a Paradox. Poor old Paradox is just not gonna be able to survive in Team Sway. They get taken out by a two-man squad, Team Ankita. They're making things work with just 2 of their members here.
Exactly. It's really clinical how Begum was able to put down a jump pad in his face, jump around behind him, and while Paradox was busy shooting at Flexi, Begum is able to beam him down with that L-Star. Just really shows how good they are at baiting and switching.
It just goes to show that even when you are a two-man squad, you can still work wonders if you play your cards properly, bait down one of your teammates, and then go in for these type of engagements. Beautifully done from their side, but at the same time, not as beautiful as you would have expected from the other squads. They're all inside of the circle here. Everyone is inside of the circle, other than the side of Team T-Bone and one other squad. T-Bone, are they gonna go in for a fight, or are they gonna be going in for a friendship dance against one another? T-Bone, one squad's right behind them. What's happening there on the other side of the map? T-Bone, he's getting shot down, possibly getting taken out soon enough as well. He's taking a back seat here. It's gonna be Shiva being the one to take him on down. Poor old T-Bone and his squad. Yeah, they just got caught out in the worst possible position.
Yeah, they're down to their last member, the Octane in form of ProShot X. He's running away from all these people, and of course, there's gonna be Team Mackle who are trying to chase him down. But let's take a look at the ring right now. We have Beg for Mercy very close to 2 other teams right now. This Lava Siphon area could turn into a very, very tricky location. Down at the very southern edge of the circle, near Lot Site, we have Team Bloodline. And they might just go up against Arm Power Gaming.
Power, they're right around the corner, but I don't think that's gonna happen, not just yet. But look at Sick Warriors and look at the side of Team Mackle. They're going across one another. They're going in for the fight already at Team Mackle. They need to take a backseat here. They cannot go in for this fight. They have the low ground advantage. They have the low ground disadvantage, sorry, and they cannot go in for this engagement, not just yet. Just wait for the circle. Wait and see where the second circle is headed. And then go in for the fight, because with all of the teams now inside of the circle, 8 squads here. You don't want to see what positions they're going to be holding. But at the same time, Mackle, please. Please, Apex, please. My ears. He's got to stop that. He's doing the shimmy dancing on me, man. And my ears are just a bit like, please stop. I have enough PTSD after doing a lot of the dance classes.
Wait, you dance?
I used to.
Aggressive's got moves.
Hey, you were in the theater as well. You have done musical performances. You
Hey, but
have
there's
done
no-
musical performances.
No, there's no dance involved in the plays that I've done before. It's just a little bit of acting.
It's acting and dancing because it's a musical, right? So you need to
Yeah,
dance.
well, in that case, you can't exactly call it a musical in my case. So, sorry to betray you on the Broadway gang there.
Okay, I'm sad. Okay, and Broadways are my recent addiction. I didn't really know that I would enjoy Broadway a lot, but recently I've been like, okay, Broadway is just so insane. I've been obsessed with the Six, and I am like, I gotta get into doing musicals again. I'm possibly gonna do it as well. Do it again as well now.
That's great. But Broadway, theater, Bollywood, hell, even Tollywood does not have the amount of drama that this tournament has. Take a look at this. We have Team Raman Chopra with the Rev Tape combination trying to go up against Team Sick Warrior, and they've been fairly successful. They're able to get 2 knocks.
Ooh.
One last player standing, and now it's the Octane who's trying to run away. They will confirm the kills on Ravi Gang and Sick Warrior. And even if they run out of their Revenant Death Protection, it's completely fine. But hold on! It's not fine anymore!
Behind them.
We have Axe back
Beg
and
for mercy.
Oh my god, Beg for Mercy. They find Raman Chopra's team. It's funny how the team that Raman Chopra was originally after managed to survive now because the Octane actually escaped.
But I think they're gonna survive for long, man. Beautiful tracking coming on down from the sideline. See Bloodline, they're gonna be able to deal a good amount of damage, being able to take down Gamakuto. And with that, one more squad remaining, one more player left, and it's gonna be Arm Power getting shut down straight from the midair. And now Bloodline, they're just able to finish off every single one of these teams. They took down 2 squads here, Chris. 2 squads. And I think you were right. I think the drama here in this game far outclasses anything that we've seen in theaters. Oh my god.
Definitely. They gotta survive this one, but the Ox Dodge stick, it stuns him. He can't move, he can't shoot. He can only see him watch just fall down to death. And oh my god, Sneeze tried to escape with the jump pad, but he's gonna be plucked off mid-air. Begum with that L-Star control is so good. I mean, we've seen these guys make it work with near hit scan weapons like R99s and Volts, but the L-Star, being a very projectile-based weapon, gives me a very Quake-ish vibe, but he's still very good. And at that range too, he's able to shoot down people just flying using the Octane jump pad, and he's beaming them down. This is not the L-Star buff. This is Begum and his raw mechanical skill.
But Crips, I really want to ask you this. How are they doing all of this with only 2 players? They have 5... No, they have what? 8 kills together with just 2 players. And a lot of the other squads, even with 3 players, can barely get 2. That's just incredible.
It's mind-blowing what you can accomplish with just 2 people.
Let's go.
I mean, sure, it will come and bite them later on in the final circle, you know, when they're up against full squads. But right now, when the chances of them getting in and out of fights is pretty good, you know, when they can move around, I think it's gonna work in their favor, and Ravi Gang will finally be put down to ground once again. I do believe that Sick Warrior's team, the one Octane who escaped, he revived Ravi Gang. He resurrected him on a respawn beacon, but the moment he lands on the ground, he's been found once again. Now, Mercy himself has been knocked out. Not a problem. Axeback and Fat Monster can still probably revive him, but no, the Thermite Grenade will confirm the kill on him. Grudge now looking to make this one work. He's been able to knock out Axeback as well. Mackle's team, they're about to knock out Beg for Mercy once again, but in the distance, they see another person being revived, and now they gotta choose. Do they go in and finish the remainders of Team Beg for Mercy, or do they go ahead and hunt the last member who has just been revived right now? They can probably make it across this little river, but it seems like they found him. Grudge does get cracked, but he's able to find the other people as well. Axeback, Fat Monster, both of their kills being confirmed right now. And that's pretty much it. Team Mackle is in prime position to win this game.
Trying to go in for the fight here. Mackle did spot on one of the squads on the really far end, but he doesn't have a proper sight to take this engagement. The red dot is good, but at that range, the red dot's not going to be able to go in for a lot of fights here. You need to play it a little bit more differently. Mackle did spot out another squad, but with the crafting station, crafting up a couple of goodies for the buddies here. Let's just see what we can expect from them. They're getting ammo, they're getting pretty much everything that they can. They're stocking themselves back up here. And with the stocks up and ready, now Team Mackle, they need to make a decision. It's a 1 versus 1 situation for the squads. 4 squads remaining. The circle's pretty big as well. They can get into better positions, but Team Ankita, they're still alive somehow. They're still able to do a lot here. Lisa and Begum, it's all up to them to bring it back home for Ankita as well. Because this is a 2-man thing. If they're able to get the #1 position away from Mackle like this, that has got to be the biggest storyline change that we have ever seen here. But I don't think it's going to happen. Team Mackle's line.
Team Mackle, they destroy the dead protection totem. Oh, it's gone all wrong. They activate it, they rush them down, but they find a nasty surprise waiting for them on the other side, and now they gotta get rid of it somehow. Begam's been down. They just need to find the last player. This is already a two-man roster, and Flexi will go down to the ground too. That's it. Team Meow 16K out of the picture.
We should go here.
All of Team Mackle up on red shields. They have plenty of advantage for themselves, and they've got the Kraber too. Oh, it's gonna hurt. And that's it. ST116 has been put down on the ground as well. I do believe that his other teammates who are trying to res him right here will not be able to pull it off. And that's it. Brut should be able to finish it all by himself. Three in a row. Get out of here, man. This guy is on a roll.
Didn't we really say that Team Mackle would be the ones to take it all away in the number 2 possibly if they woke up on the right side of the map? The Apex gods were on their side. They got a Kraber and an alternator right at the very beginning. They got a really good circle in game number 2. There was nothing that could have been done there. And in game number 3, they got another Kraber. And that Kraber had sung its own song, getting a beautiful shot onto one of the players, shutting it down almost immediately. And hey, they had everything in their favor. There was nothing going bad for them whatsoever. But at the same time, the side of Sick Warriors, they fell way too early. There was nothing to contest Team Mackle. They had free reign throughout the entire map. And they were just hunting down their players as if they were hunting game. These were helpless deers just running around. And Team Mackle, they're the ones with a rifle. And everyone else, they had nothing in their hands seemingly. No contest whatsoever. And Team Mackle, the momentum that they have on their side, it's literally going out of control. It's like an avalanche that's just storming down through a lot of these other streamers. There has to be a way to survive this. There has to be a way to counteract this. Build a wall, build a dam, or just try to take them out immediately as soon as they land. I have no idea why it arrived, but okay, it's fine. So the thing is, Team Mackle, they have the advantages now, primarily for what reason? Their positions are just way stronger. Their positioning is way better in comparison to any of the other teams. And the thing is, they don't have to worry about any form of third party. They're not being third party at all, seemingly. Like, considering where they are, they always get these fair 1v1 engagements, and no one's really pushing them when they are opting to go in for another fight. Is it actually because of their positioning, or are they getting really, really fortunate in the situations they're being put into?
I mean, they're really mobile. They don't stay in one place for too long. They keep on moving. Even after they lost Mercy himself, the other guys, they were able to reposition themselves across the river very quickly the moment they found the kills on the remaining members of Team Meow 16K. Just constantly repositioning, constantly switching up things. And because they don't sit stationary, nobody can really pin them down and third party them, you know? I mean, even if they move into third party someone, if they sense danger, they'll get out of there real quickly. And we saw that early on, right? They were up on top of that bridge. I think this was in the previous game where they jumped into battle against RakaZone and Co. in staging area, something like that. So, yeah, we can see that their game sense is on a whole new level and they just avoid danger. They are the danger right now themselves. Let's take a look at the highlights because this match is full of them. Most of them coming on from the side of Team Mackle, of course. But it's cool. It's really entertaining when there's a 2 versus 2 battle right at the start. Both these teams have been unable to find their third player because of some or the other reason that we don't know. But the fact that they both decide to agree and drop into Streamer's building and have a fair gentleman's agreement to battle a 2v2, now that is a true sportsmanship spirit right there. That's really appreciative.
They able to do all of their engagements properly. They were really perfect in the way that they were taking a lot of these fights. But at the same time, the biggest dark horse in my eyes was Team Ungeta, man. How were they able to pull off something this incredible, survive until the very end, be the top 4 squads alive, then get taken out? Like, to be in a 2 versus X situation and being able to do this much just goes to show how incredible you are as a roster and how much you could have done if you did have your third member still alive. Team Beg for Mercy as well, they tried their hardest, but once again, when you don't have a Gibraltar and when you are not as mobile and you try to hold one singular position every single time, you're just going to be in such a bad spot. And right at the very end, Team Mackle, they were the ones to bring it all back onto their favor because they were constantly mobile. Yes, they didn't have a Gibraltar, but what really did they have to worry about? They had nothing to worry about whatsoever. They constantly just kept on going in for pushes. They constantly just kept on moving. You don't need a Gibraltar if you're constantly repositioning yourself. And when your repositions are as perfect as the zones coming on down in, you understand which positions you need to go towards. And with Perch calling the shots constantly, being like, hey boys, let's just go here, let's just go here, let's just go here. You don't need that Gibraltar. You don't have to worry about the constant bombardment coming on down from multiple different angles. And with so little squads alive, these type of aggressive compositions work even better. Normally, you need the Gibraltar when there's like 8 squads remaining, the circle is super tiny, and you need that extra little bit of cover to move from one place to another to try and survive. But in this situation, there's only like 4 squads in this tiny circle. You don't have anything to worry about. Just keep the ball rolling in your court, keep moving as fast as you possibly can, and constantly keep on going for the fights. And in this situation, Team Mackle, they did that throughout all of these 3 games, and hey, they got the 3rd champion on their side.
Exactly. I mean, we were talking about them waking up on the right side of the bed. Hey, I think that's not even the case anymore. They woke up in bed with Lady Luck. And it's not like they got it for free. They had to flirt with her. They had to flirt with Danger too to get all this advantage. Their zone prediction was really, really good. So we can't even blame it on luck. We can't even say that, oh, the luck gave them the favor and they got the zone to themselves. No, they predicted it to absolute perfection in the first 2 games. And with them getting all the Krabers and auto leaders, again, that also wasn't luck. That was them being super aggressive, super mobile, and hunting down every airdrop, hunting down every team that tried to go anywhere near an airdrop. So that's Team Mackle proactively taking up all the fights, and they are the ones who are creating their own destiny.
And they played so many of these fights incredibly. And the fact that they were able to do it like this just goes to show how dangerous this squad actually is if you allow them to run rampant throughout the entire game. The thing is, the only way to shut down Team Mackle at this point is to shut them out really early. You need to understand where Team Mackle have been landing throughout the day and just try and camp those balls, try and contest them, because now Team Mackle, they have an insurmountable lead now. They got so many kills throughout the entire game. There is no way to contest them now, and they're just going to keep on getting stronger and stronger in game number 4 as soon as it does come up here. If they get one more win here, Crips, I think it's already done and dusted. I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch them here. Even Team Ankita, they were the ones who got a lot of the points. They keep their 2nd place position relevant, but the thing is, to try and shoot for number 1, I don't think anyone's going to be able to reach them. Not anymore.
Nah, not anymore. They have way too much advantage right now, way too much momentum. It's hard to stop an object that's coming down that fast. It's almost like a wrecking ball at this point. And at this point, because Team Mackle have like 3 wins under their belt, it's a wrecking ball with jet engines. It's coming at you with the speed of light. If you stand in its way, you'll get run over. So how do you stop it? Can you even stop it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just going to be really difficult. With the standings getting prepped up and ready here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see exactly how the teams are performing overall throughout this entire game to see who's going to be moving up and down. And I can do a little bit of a quick math from my end as well. And then Crips is going to be like, I
Go
don't
for
want to
it.
go back to math
Go for
class.
it.
I don't
Go
want to
for
go
it.
back to college. I already walked away from it for a very long time. But hey, math with aggressive, it's going to be fun. Don't really worry about it. But the thing is, the main thing that the teams need to worry about is their standings now. So let's head on down over to the standings and see exactly how the teams have done overall. And Team Mackle, oh boy, they got 21 points for their side. They're pretty much untouchable. Deck for Mercy, though, 11 kill points for them and 4 placements. These guys have been tearing the entire server apart right off the get-go. They have a lot of kill points. Placement points are pretty bad, but Team Ankita, look at them. 5, 7, and 12. 7 kills as a 2-man roster.
That's also
something.
pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I
That
mean,
is bloody brilliant.
they had what Flexi and Begum yesterday, and today as well. Ankita herself started to play today. She wasn't playing yesterday though. Uh, but yeah, sometimes even though Ankita herself is not present, these 2 guys are enough. I mean, they're carrying the banner forward, and even with Amanda's blunders, they're able to put up such an impressive number. Now, that's one reason to tip my hat to them. Begum and Flexi, the deadly duo. I think they might just be able to give Sick40 a run for their money, because they're starting to get a little closer to them in the overall standings right now. No? I mean, sure, Sick40 was able to finish second, twice in a row or something like that. But now they fell down to the 4th place. Sure, it's only by a couple of points. And the point discrepancy isn't that big in a game like this. Like, usually we see the top teams have like 25, 26 something points. the other two teams have like 15, 20, and then else has less than 5 points, right? That's not the case over here. Raman Chopra has 9. They could have had 10 if they were able to confirm that last kill, and if they did not get third partied. Bloodline also performing really consistently. They're almost always able to wipe out at least one or two squads throughout the day. But then all the other teams as well, like T-Bone, Harsh, Robo, Meow, and Ampa, well, these guys have like 3 kills each. So that's pretty impressive too.
They're not able to do a lot, but at the same time, we expect a lot more, especially from the side of Sick Warriors. They got the 9 placement points and 2 kill points on their side, but they had a really slow game number 8. And you can't really have slow games like this at this stage. So they need to be a little bit more proactive in the way you take a lot of your different engagements. And yeah, I understand. They got the second position for themselves. They're able to survive. They got the placement points. That's good. It's really good. But now the game has shifted towards the side of kill points. Getting placement points is not what you really want, because if a 2-man roster is able to get 7 points on the board when it comes down to the kill points, you need to worry about that a lot moving on down the line. Sick Warriors, they played their cards beautifully. They got the 9 and 2. They have it on 11, but it just won't be enough. So let's head on down over towards the overall standings here, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly how the teams are going to be looking on that end. Because with everything that happened here, Sick Warriors, they have been forced down to the 3rd spot, and Team Ankita, they're now back onto their old position on the 2nd. But Team Mackle, yeah, they're pretty much untouchable. Even if they die out early in the next game, if they're able to put up a decent performance, I'm just saying a bare minimum 10-point performance on game number 5, they're gonna win this out. There's nothing to really contest them now.
I don't know what to say about this. Let's take a look at the overall standings now, and I think that should tell us exactly where everyone else stands. Oh my god, 3 teams above the 100-point mark. All right, things starting to get interesting. Beck for Mercy needs to step up. They're sitting at 90 points right now. Bloodline at almost 80. I don't know what's going to happen if Bloodline and Beck for Mercy can, catch up with each other. But Sick Warrior just manages to cross the 100-point mark. Ankita a little above him. Mackle, though, is running away with the game. These guys have, what, a 24-point lead right now? 24 points, aggressive. I mean, if you have a really, really standout game, and if Mackle's team dies right at the start, only then you can hope of catching up with them. And with only 2
Even
games
then, that's a
remaining,
big if.
yeah, that's a big if, yeah. And that too with 2 games remaining in the tournament, I don't think that's going to happen.
I think the main reason why they're able to do so beautifully is because of their placement points and also their kill points. Look at the consistency that they have. 70 placement points and 63 kill points. They're very consistent in these 2 margins. They're able to keep a fine balance between these 2, and having such a balance is so crucial here. Look at the side of Sick Warriors. Look at the side of Beck for Mercy. 53 kill points, 55 kill points, but their placement points, it's just not consistent enough. 47, 37, you need to try and show a lot more consistency in the way you're placing throughout the game. Kills are just not the only thing you need to focus on. Team Ankita, though, they're showing consistency on the placement points because they don't really have a lot of their players available. Only 2 members are playing, but still, they have a lot of placement points to work with. That's why they're so high up here. Being on the 49 kill point margin, it's still pretty good for them. And now, Team Ankita, they can possibly pull off an incredible performance. There is a possibility they can take the number 1 position away from the side of Team Mackle. But the thing is, can you really count on them being able to do something like that? Can you really count on them being the ones to bring everything back in their favor? You're going to be seeing that soon enough here, groups, but at the same time, I don't know. Because Team Mackle, they're taking everything away. They're shutting down their opposition before they can even take a breath here. And in my eyes, don't know. Team Mackle, they're going to take away the number 1 spot, but I think the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6 positions are still up for grabs.
Oh yeah, pretty much. More so between number 6 and 5, because you see all those teams are pretty close to each other. I think team number 5 is probably what at 70 something points right now. 6th is I guess Hydraflick sitting at a little close to 50.
60, 50, 50, 60.
Yeah, if my memory serves right. But yeah, they still have a little bit of buffer to cross to get to the 70-point markers. Either way, with some of these teams above 100 points, catch up seems like an impossible task right now. Just
Yeah.
try to get as high of a position as you can so that you can secure as big of a prize, as big of a share of a prize pool you can get. But other than that, with only 2 games remaining in the tournament, I think at this point, all the teams towards the bottom ends of the table, these guys are going to stop caring. They're going to throw caution to the wind. And at this point, I think they will be the ones who try to play spoil sport.
Yeah, they. This is pretty much about the point of playing catch up for a lot of these other teams. They need to try and get themselves into a position where they can be happy with themselves. They can be happy with the prize money that they're getting. At the bare minimum, try and push yourself over to that number fifth position. Get something out of it. Getting even 10,000 rupees here. It's a pretty big margin when you consider the amount of money that you are getting, even if you split it three-way. They can get a good dinner. They can get themselves a couple of good drinks as well. Possibly get a can of Red Bull as well by scanning the QR code down below. Get yourself energized and ready for this next initial matchup. And hey, if you have the energy, why not just go in for it? Just have a lot more fun here. If you're at the bottom of the table, go in for something spicy, go in for something funny. And hey, if you go in for something funny, maybe that funny thing's gonna work out for you and could just possibly take a win away from these juggernauts if they don't expect you to pick up a Watson, Caustic, and Gibraltar all at the one time. You never
No,
know.
I
It could
mean,
just work out.
yeah, I mean, the costing in the Gibraltar still makes sense, but the Watson, come
Oh, come
on.
on.
That was
Come
a
on. All
very
the
ingenious
chalky,
pick.
all the chalky boys all together.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, even Rampart for that matter, that was a very unexpected pick. I think the only reason they wanted to do it is because they wanted to try out the mobile Sheila, the new update to Rampart, which lets her carry around her ultimate. I think that's the only reason why they wanted to try it. Now, I don't know, which other legend are we yet to see? I think we've seen the Mirage as
Crypto.
well. So, yeah, we are yet to see a Crypto. Oh, screw Crypto. Crypto is so
No
bad right
one
now.
for no one remembers about crypto anyways. Crypto's like one of
Yeah,
those characters being like, does
but
he
that's
even
what
exist?
yeah, that's what Crypto wanted to be like, right? He's a hacker who works under the shadows. Nobody wants Crypto himself. If the character was real, he doesn't want people to know about him. So that kind of makes sense. Let's just forget about him. What about
Okay.
other people? Like, I don't know, maybe Pathfinder. Pathfinder has not been seen in this entire tournament, even though I know some of the people over here possess the mechanical prowess required to play the robot Spider Man. We haven't just seen him at all.
Another question is not really seeing Seer. What do you think is a
Yeah.
real what do you think is a real reason for not people not picking up the Seer? I know for a fact that he has been nerfed, but he's still pretty good, and a lot of the teams are just not picking him up at all. Bloodhound seems to be the one who took over Seer once again as the primary intel gathering legend here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Seer with his micro drones not really useful because you can dodge them. But the heart chamber is still a little good. It's still a little viable. And if you're trapped in a close quarter combat situation, then the heart chamber can actually help you out quite a lot. But then the Bloodhound with the speed boost with your ultimate and everything, I think that kind of just, outweighs Seer, at least in the eyes of some of these pros who've been playing the Bloodhound for such a long time. It's kind of like their main agent right now, especially for people like not Northern Priest, for people like Startup Guy. He plays a lot of Bloodhound. Even Fat Monster, for that reason, happens to be a Bloodhound main. So these guys, because they're just very comfortable with the character, I guess that's the only reason they pick it. Of course, when Seer was first released, they flirted with the idea of having a new scanning agent and a new recon agent, but at this point, when people are picking up Mirage as a recon agent, I don't even know what to say anymore. The series is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, poor old Seer, he is the most broken release in the entirety of Apex. Everyone loved him, but then they overdid it on the nerves. He just fell so hard and so flat on
Yeah.
his face that there's no way to get up from that. You just gotta lie down and play dead. None of the community wants you anymore, Seer. Seemingly, it just hurts, man, because when a character release is this good, this strong, you don't really need to over nerf him to the point where he's this useless. He had his
Yeah.
niche moments. He was the character that everyone picked up. Everyone in professional play just always picked up a
Insta
seer.
lock.
Like
Yeah.
insta lock seer. There was no situation where there was not a seer in one game. And it was really annoying as well because I constantly heard that sound of the seer just blasting his scans all across the map. And I'm like, bro, please stop.
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 Yeah.
Stop. Then we saw a professional game as well. I still remember during the Rise of Legion that the seer was all on his lonesome. It was a 1 versus 3 situation, and that one seer was just blasting the other squad constantly with scans, just dealing that small little bit of poke damage, 15, 20 damage, just constantly just blasting them, being like, hello, I'm here, I'm still alive. Hello, I'm here, just look at me. Look at me. And then at one point the squads are like, just get this over with. I'm just gonna go and push this guy and I'm gonna end his life right now.
Yeah.
And because they pushed the seer, they all died out to the other squad who are just right around the corner. Sometimes
Yeah.
those annoyance factors is what really matters here. And the seer just lost all of that moving on down the line here. And that's what kind of hurts. So let's just see what we can expect here coming on down through from these raw squads and these rosters. Are they
It's
gonna pick up a seer?
it's kind of like that Toy Story meme, I don't want to play with you anymore. That meme, when the girl just drops
Oh my
Woody down to the
god.
ground. That one, that's basically replace Woody with Sia. But the similarity is Woody from Toy Story and Sia, both of them wear a fancy hat and fancy boots. So
I think that's
that
true.
similarity right there. Who else will they replace him with? Buzz Lightyear? Come on, that's just budget Valkyrie.
Okay. You don't diss Valkyrie like that. There's a lot of Valkyrie fans in chat that are probably gonna end you right then and there. But hey, Valkyrie.
I mean, she is Buzz Lightyear. She can fly around. She wears a little spacesuit thingy. I mean, she wears a Titan, Valkyrie, but Buzz Lightyear, come on. He's fighting an evil guy. Valkyrie used to be in the evil camp. So, yeah, there are not too many similarities, but let's be honest, they both can fly and they've got missile swarms. So, that's what counts.
But in the case of Buzz, he doesn't have any of those. He just has a sticker in his hand that he uses as his makeshift missile launcher that he believes that actually works.
And then Woody breaks the news to him and says, "You are just a toy." Yeah, that's basically Team Mackle screaming at every other team right now. You are just
Mhm.
cannon fodder.
Hey, you don't call the other teams like that. Not just yet, because you never know. Team Mackle, they could just take a back seat. It's very much possible. So let's just see what we can expect here from this games. The game is being set up. We're gonna have a little bit of a delay, but don't really worry about it here, ladies and gentlemen, because now the main thing that I would like to highlight as well here is the lack of a Gibraltar. Why do you think that's the case here, Trips? Because Gibraltar honestly is a really, really potent pickup, but none of these teams are going out for it. Feels like aggression for them is a lot more important than having a defensive tool.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Gibraltar does provide you the opportunity of resetting yourself in the middle of a fight. You pop that dome, you pop that bubble in the middle of a three-way or a four-way battle, and you have yourself a little bit of a calm center in a hellish battlefield. But then people realize that with Gibraltar, it's all or nothing. The moment you pop that dome, everyone else is gonna pounce upon you. Then you just gotta play around the dome, jiggle in and out with your EVA 8s and whatnot. So it's kind of like, how do I say this? It's kind of like you put yourself out there and you challenge the other team to come towards you. And if they accept the challenge, then you have to brawl it out. There is no escape avenue. There is no, scope of repositioning around or playing with their minds or being extremely mobile. Like, take a look at the composition of Team Mackle right now. All of those characters are focused on mobility and repositioning. You have the
Yep.
Bloodhound. Scan yourselves, activate the ultimate, and you're faster than the Octane. And then, of course, they've got the Octane too. And if things go wrong, then it's going to be Northern Breeze and his portal plays who rescue them.
That's the ideology that they have on their side. They have so much aggression to work with as well. And the thing is, all these games that are happening, there's not really more than four squads remaining in a very massive circle. So in a way, the Gibraltar is not really going to be getting a lot of value in professional level play. The Gibraltar gets a lot more value primarily because there's like 8 squads, sometimes even 10 squads, 11 squads remaining on a very tiny circle. It's literally the third circle, and there's still like somehow 10 squads alive. That's where the Gibraltar is super important. That's where you need that Gibraltar to move from one cover point to another as you're taking an engagement against another squad who's in a close proximity to you. But here, it's not as important because, come on, 5 squads remaining in a massive circle. You need the tools to reposition yourself, and the more tools that you have for repositioning, rather than defensive, it's going to be helping you out. But at the same time, the Gibraltar helps a lot as well because yesterday I remember that Fixa was the one who consistently used that Gibraltar and got a lot of wins for the side of Team Anketa. And will they actually pick up the Gibraltar here and now to try and get them possible win here? If and only if they get their third member, that is, because Team Anketa's been having issues trying to get their third member into the game. And yeah, it's just not as favorable for them.
It's just not happening. I don't know what the issue is. Even Team Meow had a problem with it a little bit. Midfield team too. These guys have been showing up with two-man rosters, so it does become a little unfair to them. But hey, you remember that 1-2 versus 2 fight we saw in that streamer building? That was the best display of sportsmanship I've seen in a very long time. I think these guys probably discussed it too. There's no way it's a coincidence that both of them decided to go in the same spot. It could be, but hey, I mean, these guys can interact with each other. They can obviously interact in the lobby and the all chat as well. So they could, potentially challenge someone.
Yeah, pretty much anything can happen here because with the match starting up soon enough here, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the delay. You heard us ramble for a pretty long time, but the teams are getting prepped up. We had a couple of problems coming on down from the streamers, and they're all getting ready. They're all getting hyped up. They're getting themselves a can of Red Bull as well by scanning the QR code down here. You should as well get yourself energized, get yourself prepped up and ready because the last two games of the day are going to be an incredible one for sure because here is where the last final bit of a push is going to happen. Whoever takes this win here will set their pace. If the side of Team Mackle take this, they take away all of the glory. There is no way anyone's going to be contesting them. There's no way anyone's going to be able to get close to what they're holding up on. But at the same time, if there is a squad that gets 30 points here, I think that we could just be in the running for something.
30? We came close yesterday, didn't we? We got to like
29.
29. Wait, 29?
Yes,
Was it
there was
26
a
or
squad of
27?
29. No, there was a squad of 29
Oh,
yesterday.
damn, we missed it by 1 point. 1 point for the big 30. The 30 bomb is a big deal, honestly. I mean,
Yep.
it's very, very difficult to achieve that. You need 18 kills and 12 placement points to do that.
Yep.
Let's see if anyone can get it in the last 2 games of the day. We are jumping into match number 4, ladies and gentlemen. The dropship starts from Ola, goes to his lava fissure, just bisecting the map in half, all the way down the bottom. Now, I kind of want to see if any of these teams go for any drop changes. I don't see anything out of the box just yet. I mean,
Oh wait, someone's already going in for a fight. Fragment Beast is absolutely populated, and also the side of Skyhooks and Trials are in a falling position. Why is why are 2 teams dropping on Trials? What?
oh my god. Okay, this is bad.
You got a
We've
thermal
seen-
station.
Yeah, we've seen
Wait.
teams drop into Skyhook again and again, but Trials is a completely different beast. And speaking of beasts, there are literal beasts over there. You gotta kill prowlers and everything to get guns.
There's two squads all across the map. I think this is gonna go down to like 8 squads in a matter of seconds because look at the positioning of all of the players. It's only Team Bloodline and the side of Team Hydraflick who are not in close proximity to another squad. Everyone else, they're right next to one another.
Exactly, like you've got Team Meow16k and Mackle about to fight each other inside of Fragment. Then you've got Mercy. These guys are taking on Team Brahman inside of not Harvester. They're taking them on in Lava Siphon. Bloodline is pretty safe, I guess, and so is Hydraflick. But then, what about the teams in Trials? Like, I don't even know if they're started fighting each other. And the Northern Tunnels, you've got Team T-Bone moving in that direction again. Now we're taking a look at Lava Siphon, and this battle is going to be happening between Raman Chopra and I do believe that this is Team Sway. No, wait, Team Sway is actually fighting T-Bone's team all the way in the Northern Tunnels. Beg for Mercy is taking on Team Raman Chopra right here in Lava Siphon.
Oh yeah, Beg for Mercy, they're in a pretty good spot, but at the same time they need to be careful because the Peacekeeper without the choke just is not as fast as you would want it to be. With the choke, the Peacekeeper is a really good weapon, but without it, it's just pretty bad in general. Beg for Mercy, though, he does have a Mozambique in his hand, and Mozambique is going to be the thing that gets him a lot of the damage done. It's going to be the one to take down Raman Chopra. One more kill to work with as well. Takes down SC116YT. And with that, Beg for Mercy, they have the entirety of Lava Siphon to themselves now.
All right, pretty good fight. Pretty early end to this game as well. You have RakaZone just finishing off his opponents with a good old fist. Hyperion is the one who falls. So, wait, I believe that this is Arm Power's team, is it? I'm not really sure, but at this point, Trials is kind of safe.
I don't really have
Yeah,
much
no,
to
that was Harsh's team. That was Harsh Kilray's team, and yeah, they bled out. All right, 3 kills, all going in the favor of RakaZone. It's pretty good. He's the kill leader right now, and he can revive his teammate too. He can revive him inside of Skyhook. And if he does that, then the only team that he needs to watch out for is probably Team T-Bone, who are close to the Northern Tunnels. They're the only team that can rush them down in Skyhook if they go for the res. Digital threat on Expert. Yeah, that's what you want to see. Tamim thought he was safe inside the smoke, but nah.
Prudge is going to be the one to take it all away. Prudge with the wingman as well. He has the classic combination here, Crips. He has a wingman. He has an R99, but sad. He's not going to keep. Oh, come on. And that was going to give me the Season 1, Season 0 vibes. It was just like, yeah, it's going to happen. The R99, the wingman, but no. It's going to be a push from another squad. And Team Mackle, they either need to cut their losses or they need to get into a better position because Sick Warriors, they're the ones who have their phone number and they're calling them up constantly.
Yeah, and they can call them up twice. They've got the unlimited life plan, especially with that Revenant ultimate. Oh, a fourth party has arrived. Who is it? Who is it? It's Armpower.
Armpower.
And they're trying to get in. They're trying to get in a little piece of the action over here. Team Sick Warrior, they bail out immediately. They don't want any part of this. Very quick escape. But what about Team Mackle? They must still be in the area, or did they go around the other side?
I think they just left. They just dipped here. And I
Both of them
believe-
left.
Yeah, the both of them were just like dipping. I'm like, bro, nope, this is not happening. Even Outpower is like, yep, we are just gonna go away from this. We're gonna walk away slowly. There is no situation, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be standing. They're gonna go, get themselves into a better spot, get themselves healed up. And they know for a fact, this is the 4th game. They cannot make any rookie mistakes here. If they make any form of mistake, their positions are gonna be gone. Their chances of trying to take away the number 1 are gonna be gone. And Sick Warriors, they want that number 2 position. Yes, they can't reach number 1, but trying to get that number 2 for themselves, super crucial.
Yeah, good to have at least one win, even if you can't win the entire tournament. A dub is what you want, and it is what they will get if they play their cards right. They avoid this battle for now. Armpower 2 realize that they're probably a little late to the party, so really good call by both these teams over here to bail out at the right time, and they did it in such a safe fashion too. They yeeted right out. No risk whatsoever.
Position's really good, and the position's really strong. Sick Warriors, they're right on the edge of the other side. Maybe going for a swing of their own, but they're not going to be spotting anyone out yet. And honestly, I want your opinion. Do you like this position in general, or like, I don't know. The Iceberg's Glaciers are pretty good, but the thing is, this spot is kinda iffy for me. I've died here way too often instead of actually getting proper advantages against other teams in this spot.
Yeah, the terrain is a little tricky to navigate. I mean, it's basically mountains all around you and one large valley in the center. If you get caught at the bottom, you can get shot from the top from multiple different angles. So yeah, it does become a little tricky to navigate this area. Especially when there are some zip lines taking you across. You gotta know which one leads to which part of the map. But right now, just a little outside of staging, on top of the bridge, we have Team Beg for Mercy chasing down their other opponents. And it seems like they will catch up to them. Devil Rays Gaming, the first one to hit the ground. Harsh Galeray, I think he was revived. Somebody managed to grab his banner all the way in trials, and now he's gonna be put down to the ground again.
One by one, they're just getting taken down and dropped like flies here. And Beg for Mercy, they're hungry for more. They're able to take down Deliverance as well. Shriman Legends team just takes a back seat here, and there's nothing that they can do here to bring this one back for their side. Beg for Mercy, though, pretty good spot. They could just shut down another squad. They did spot them out. Here comes the push, but yeah, that's a Revolt. And that Rev ultimate was used very prematurely. They thought that they were closer, but the shots are just going to be connecting regardless. The positions are going to be strong as well, but it's very dangerous. They need to get killed here on the Rev ultimate. They do know that. And the fact is, they're not getting killed like that, but oh my god, the positions are going to be good at Scorpion? Did you just... You can't be serious. Scorpion, are you joking?
Yeah, he was able to take down Fat Monster, turning it into a 2 versus 3. The second wave now comes on through, and they are on the verge of sending them back once more. Axeback manages to get the knock onto Bloodline, but Sneeze, he returns the favor. Beg for Mercy down to the last player, all of them surviving on 1 HP. Can they clutch this out? It's just Fat Monster. He manages to pull off the shield battery in the nick of time, but he will not be able to win it out. It's the EVA 8 on Scorpion and the L-Star 2. Both these weapons as Decimate up close, and they get in their faces to shoot them down. Whew. Difficult battle right there, but hey, Mel16K have all 3 of their members now. This is great. Once again in the streamer building.
positionally, this is just going to be an even more difficult one to work with here because, ooh, that's going to hurt. Ruby Gang's going to be able to spot on Shia. With that, that's going to be another kill for their side. But at the same time, Six Warriors, maybe they're going to be the ones to pull something out from their side as well. Cage down me out 16k. One by one, they're just dropping like flies. What do you do here? But at the same time, Six Warriors, they got spotted out by another squad. They need to make the decision. Do they still want to hold the Predator building? Or are they going to walk away from it and just go down to a different side like RakaZone? They're going in for their own fight, but this is inside of the zone. They need to cut their losses and run away! So taking a good chunk of damage from the side of Team T-Bone. And T-Bone and his gang, they're looking for a couple of kills. They want to end things off with a bang, possibly with a couple of executions and a couple of reverse kills on towards the side of Sick Warriors, but they're just not going to be finding it. Not just yet.
Oh, more to follow. This time, Robo's team is stepping up. Unfortunately, they've already lost Bearded Panda, their resident Loba, but hey, at least they're able to survive up until the top 12. Maybe they can continue this trend and take it somewhere in the top 8 or maybe even top 5 if things go in their favor. But they're on the very edge, towards the southern edge of the map, and yeah, getting north, trying to get inside the circle could be a little tricky, especially when it's the third ring. The amount of real estate available for you becomes a little less, and especially with 12 teams still alive, this is a rather slow game.
Yeah, it's going to be slow, it's going to be systematic, but something that we expected now, didn't we? It's the fourth game, you have a lot at stake, you're not really going to be as overly aggressive, you're going to try and sparingly take all of your engagements here. And they're just able to do that. 12 squads remaining, no one's really dying out just yet. This is shaping up to be more like one of the pro games that we casted previously. 12 squads at the very end of the circle. I'm guessing that's what's gonna happen.
Sick Warrior inside Landslide. A place that usually sees a lot of high traffic, but surprisingly in this tournament it hasn't seen too much action. It's those little corridors next to Harvester that are mostly seeing all these battles, but the moment I say it, Sick Warriors team, they'll look like they want to start a little rebellion over here. Oh, the Arcstar stick onto Robo. Oh my goodness! In a matter of second, Team Robo is out of the picture, and it's T-Bone who hunts him down.
Ooh, positionally, this can work out in their favor, but at the same time, it's not as good as you would have expected. Swings are being taken, but it's not as much as you want. Team Hydraflick, though, they spot out one of the other squads. The arcs, the charge rifle is gonna be good, but it's just not gonna be as perfect as you would have wanted. The startup guy's not gonna be able to get a lot of damage being done with that. Gets a little bit of information, though. Gets some chip damage at the bare minimum. Now that's gonna be a chunky shot on the one, and Sick Warriors on the other side is gonna be the one to take down T-Bone and his squad. Revenant ultimate and a push, man. A little bit of a cringe strategy, but at the same time, hey, if it works, it works.
Subject spotted.
Right then. It seems like Team Hydraflick doesn't want to go in for any of those pushy plays anymore. They're just trying to play it nice and far away. Hydraflick himself on the Octane. They've got two repositioning agents in form of the Valkyrie and the Octane. And considering the way these guys are just, you know, taking up all these charge rifles and the caustic defending that spot, these guys are going to be playing a very passive and positional-based game. Because Hydraflick wants to go for this positioning points. On the other hand, though, Mackle's still on the good old fight, die, ride hard kind of playstyle.
They have nothing to really worry about that, dude. They can play it superly aggressive, they can play it defensive, that they're still just gonna be fine. They just need to get like, what, 10 points per game and there's no way anyone can touch them. So what do they have to worry about? Go and get a couple of kill points, finish everything off here, and send everyone back home immediately. Team Mackle, though, they do have a wingman on their side, Northern Breeze. He's gonna sing for me with that wingman. Shots are gonna be clean as well. They have done a good chunk amount of damage, but the thing is, positionally, everyone's just running on a wave. Beautiful shots from the side of Mackle. He takes that first initial tag, gets 2 deads. He shot them, but they took no damage.
Yeah, but
Respawn, hello? Respawn,
Yeah, I mean, these guys are causing so much damage, they might just reach a red shields very soon, but oh! The moment we say action, and we have Team Ankita trying to pick up
they're back,
pace
actually.
already. And this time they've got all 3 players. Ankita herself is playing too. They get a knock on the startup guy, and they try to move right in using the Revenant ultimates. Arcs are stuck through the windows, and Flexi is on a roll. He gets sent back though, but he does cause enough damage before he finally, has been placed back. It's okay though. Oh wait, it's
Ooh,
not
that's a
anymore.
Kraber. But that's a Kraber or is that a Sentinel?
I don't know, but it's definitely not coming from the team they were fighting before. This is the third party that's shooting at Team Ankita, and they decide to fall back instead. Not a bad decision, honestly.
Well. Another guy got picked up from a respawn beacon, so they can just get easy pickings on one of the players who are down below. And it's gonna be Korn on the Cobbs. No, actually no, that's Mackle being the one to take down Korn on the Cobbs on the other sideline. It's not the same fight. And it's gonna be RakaZone Gaming getting caught in a pretty bad position. It's gonna be Vega being able to get 2 more kills for himself. And get the last one as well. Poor old guy. He's gonna get completely demolished on by the side of Ankita. That's gonna hurt. Poor old RakaZone. He just got finished.
Yeah, Ankita pulling off that finishing move on RakaZone. Cuts him in the chest. Down to the last 9 teams, and hey, aggressive, this is very different from all the games that we have seen today. There's way too many teams, very little real estate available, and every square foot of land is gonna weigh its worth in gold now. Let's see if any of these teams will be able to control these zones for too long. Hydraflick chose the wrong compound. They've been pushed out of the zone and they need to reposition. Where do they go now, though? Armbauer was the one who was trying to, cause a little bit of trouble for them, but now Armbauer also needs to move inside. So all these teams need to find a place to call home. And with there being almost no compounds inside the zone available anymore, it's just in between 2 valleys. Like, take a look at the circle right now. It's in between 2 valleys. There's 2 entrances to this place. Where do you even go from? Can you even go from anywhere? And 8 squads, aggressive. 8 squads. I mean, there's barely any place left to put your feet on. How will you be able to find a place that will keep you safe? I don't think you can.
This is where the Gibraltar is open, but I don't think any of these teams expected this. We were talking about the game, how strong it is if you have it on each side, but now the positions are this bad, it's just gonna get even worse down the line. The shots are gonna be taken. Feeks is gonna be able to take down 2. He's looking for 1 more, straight to the smoke, going for a little bit of damage. He's gonna be able to work everything out, get that last kill down on the one. Proj on the other side is gonna be the one to go up against the side of Team Bloodline. And Bloodline, they already lose one of their players. They lose Sneeze completely here. And now Team Ankita, they're going in for 1 more squad. And 1 by 1, they're going to be the ones to shut everyone down here. But Sick Warriors, they're making the difference here. They're able to take out 2 players from the side of Team Ankita. And now it's all up to Flexi. Flexi needs to pull off a miracle here. And a miracle is all that he needs to try and shut everything down. He needs to be worrying. There's a guy on his left. There's a guy on his right. But Sick Warriors, they're not going to be risking a damn thing here. They're going to run on away, possibly live to tell the tale on another day. Because they know they need to go in for points here. If they die out to the side of Flexi right here and now, there's no way they're going to be able to survive this. But poor old Shiva, he's going to be the sacrifice to the Apex Gods for this one.
Yeah, Northern Breeze confirms that kill on a Scorpion. Sick Warrior, they find no chance to revive Shiva. I don't think they will be able to either. Hydraflick now. Oh, what are these guys doing here? Every team is literally in the same place and they're fighting against each other. Flexi does get confirmed, so that's going to be the end of his team. He was the last member for them. But a quick armor sub might be possible. It could keep Juzei safe. Nope, he doesn't get to do it. And he doesn't even have time to heal. The zone's pushing him outside. At this point, all he needs to do is just fight and hope he's able to get a couple of kill points. But he won't be getting any of that either. How many? How many? From 8 teams down to 2 teams in a matter of 20 seconds. Oh my god.
Team Mackle for their 4th. Team Mackle's still alive. It's a 1 versus 3 situation, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
4
Not
in a row.
again.
4 in a row at Mackle. He's the kill leader with 6 kills. They already know exactly where he is. Come on, punch him to death. Do it. Do it. Just end him off in a good note. Punch him. Punch battle. Fisticuffs to 1 face. 1 punch. 2nd punch. Come on, hit him already. Just send him to his grave. And Team Mackle, they bring it all back with their fist to finish it all off. And Team Bloodline, they get the 2nd place. But what just happened here, Crips? Everyone died in the span of, what, 1 minute?
Yep. This is what they like to call the Thanos circle. Half the server gets eliminated.
Hey, if it works, it works. But at the same time, it's kind of expected as well. This is what happens when you don't have a Gibraltar. You're not going to be in a good position. You cannot reposition. You cannot take the fights at your own pace. And it's all up to the gunfights. Whoever wins out of the gunfights right at the very end are going to be the ones to win. There's a third party for the fourth party, and the fourth party has a fifth party, and the fifth party had a sixth party, and the sixth party had a seventh party. And then
And
there's like a
this
sprinkling of eighth and the ninth party just somewhere sitting around in a corner just waiting for the fights to finish. That was Team Bloodline and Team Mackle. They were consistently able to win out on every single one of their engagements. And Team Mackle, they picked their fights. They cherry picked all of them, understanding that, hey, none of these teams have Gibraltars. We don't have a Gibraltar. So we are not going to be the ones to go in for a push. We're just going to be sneaking around the corner and just going in for a couple of poke shots here and there, going in for a couple of kills, finishing off the squads, and then just going in for all of the glory. They had all of the advantages. They played for the zone beautifully as well. They didn't take any form of damage whatsoever. They saw action, but the action was not against them. It was against the other squads, and they were able to come out on top here. Beautifully done from the side of Team Mackle to get the fourth game in a row. Chris. Fourth game in a row for team number 2. They're looking for the clean sweep. If they win
yeah,
game number 5, this is going to be the first ever clean sweep that we've ever seen throughout
yeah,
all of the Apex Legends tournaments that we have tested.
exactly. That will be one hell of a show. 5 wins in all 5 matches. Come on, that's 100% win rate. 100%. Teams most of the time, even if it's in the top tiers of Apex Legends, and I'm not talking about just LG Ultragear and all the tournaments in India, I'm talking about ALGS levels. Over there too, most teams have a maximum win rate of like 17 to 18%, sometimes 25%,
Yep.
if you're as good as TSM or something like that. But 100% in an LG Ultragear Streamer Invitational tournament.
Yeah,
What
Team
what is
Mackle,
this? What
Team
is
Mackle,
this?
they're mad. They're mad after what happened in day number 1. They were like, the casters are dissing on us, man. They expect more from us. What are we doing? And they
Let's
just
give it to
went
them.
back home. Yeah, let's just give it to them. They went back home. They all sat together on a Discord call. They sat together and be like, boys, what's wrong with us? We can do even better here. We can just bring in the heat and make sure that we showcase to them that we are the best team. We are the best streamers that this game can ever offer. Let's showcase to them exactly what we can do. They woke up on the right side of the bed. They got the pep talk. They got themselves fired up. They got the 4th win on the board. They're looking for one more to get that clean sweep. But before we do go into that matchup, let's head on down over to the match highlights to break things down, because this was a very, very, very confusing game. On the very start, it was very slow. On the very middle, it picked up the pace a little bit. And then right at the very end, it was like I'm watching Formula 1.
Formula One with every car crashing into the other one. Yeah, that's basically what it was. It was a crash fest. Every team has one narrow corridor that they need to go through. And when too many teams land up in the same place, there is only and only one thing. It's carnage. And good luck keeping with the action at that pace, because the kill feed moves faster than the fingers of these players at that point. And of course, when that happens, there are too many obituaries at the same time. It's too much to handle. And even with all this pressure, somehow Team Mackle is able to keep up with them. So that's just more than impressive. For now, let's cherish the few battles that were a little bit sensible. Namely, Team Beg for Mercy going up against the side of Sneeze and Co. Now, sure, this was a good enough battle, and Beg for Mercy didn't win, but this is the second time that Beg for Mercy have suffered at the hands of Team Bloodline. And that's kind of painting a story, isn't it? I think Bloodline might just be able to overtake them too in this game.
Yeah, they're in a pretty good position. And there's not that the side of Team Untitled did wrong here. They had the players, they had pretty much everyone, but the thing is, they got caught between a rock and a hard place. And considering placement points, we don't know what to expect, but at the same time, man, that kill from the side of Ankita, that was a little bit of BM. She just came back and immediately she just went in for an execution, played down onto the side of RakaZone. He's not going to be happy, but at the same time, hey, it's fun and game between the friends. They are able to do a lot, but at the same time, they found a lot of the kills to work with as well. But Team Ankita nearly got taken out by the side of Sick Warriors. Sick Warriors pulled off an incredible feat from their side, being able to shut down pretty much everyone in a matter of seconds here. Hydraflick as well, they tried to pull off a miracle here, but with the zone right against them and all of the squads gatekeeping them, there's not much to do. And right at the very end, Team Mackle, they went in for the fisticuff battles. They knew for a fact that Bloodline only had one player remaining. They all had a mutual streamers agreement, being like, boys, I think it's time to go in for the battle of the boxing. The guns are not going to help us anymore. Let's see who's the true dominant player. And everyone from the side of team Mackle were like, sure, let's do it. Took out the boxing gloves and they just put a 1-2 punch into Bloodline's face and be like, yeah, sit down. We're the better streamers now.
Yeah, I think the last player over there, I think he was probably hoping to, punch them out one by one, give them a fair chance. But when all three people just pounce on you at the same time, 3 punches, that's 90 damage in one hit. When it comes from all three of those people. So you don't really stand a chance at that time. But either way, at this point, can we just give the crown to Team Mackle already? Can we do it? I think they must have crossed the 150 point marker too.
Yeah.
If not, then they must be very, very close to it. 150 points in a single day, 4 wins out of the 4 games, and there's still one more game left. Do you think they can pull it off? Do you think they can win all the games today, or will someone spoil the party for them?
I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop this avalanche now. It's too big. It's too massive. They're just going to get crushed under all of the snow and they're just going to suffocate you down. Especially in a game like Apex where the momentum really matters a lot, things are just not going to be looking up for them. So let's head on down over towards the standings here, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly how many points that Team Mackles have gained. And yeah, it's 22 points. There's no way anyone's going to be touching them anytime soon. Bloodline, though, with 14. T-Bone with 13. T-Bone, they actually showed up massively on game number 9.
Yeah, right. This is the first game where they have managed to cross double digits. And I think it was all thanks to Krat and his flatline movement and his recall control ability. He was playing really well for the side of Team T-Bone. So shout out to Krat over there. He was able to get plenty of points for Team T-Bone. Unfortunately, in the overall standings, it probably wouldn't matter at this point because they're not close to the top 6. Ankita, though, they didn't have too good of a game. 7 kills is still pretty impressive, but a third place finish. Hey, I honestly can't really blame these teams for not getting the placement points in this game because consider there's 8 teams in one narrow corridor. There's no way you can guarantee your placements. You can obviously work on the kills, which is something that Sick40 Rankita did. Kudos to them for pulling that off, but I don't think I can blame any of these guys for not being able to get placement points because this game was a little too crowded. There was too many people and not enough real estate, so that's bound to happen. Somebody gets thrown off the train.
Yeah, one by one, they did do a lot, but it was just not enough. Team Ankita, it's kind of expected when you consider what happened in that last circle. That last circle was just a cluster of teams just facing off against one another. They were constantly going in for engagements, constantly going in for fights, and then you look back a couple of seconds and then you're like thinking, okay, who's the one who actually died early? Who's the one who died next? Who's the one who died 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th?
Yeah, like
We
I
don't have
said,
the answer for that. And somehow the guys back in production had the answers for us.
yeah,
So
like I
kudos to
said,
them.
the kill feed moves faster than the fingers of these players. They can move faster than you blink, and when the kill feed is occupying the entire right-hand side of your monitor screen, yeah, that's when you know there's no point keeping track of what's going on anymore. Just enjoy the carnage, enjoy the sheer bloodbath. The amount of sound cues you'll be having in your ears at this point when 10 guns start firing at once, 3-4 people losing their shields, everyone getting knocked left, right, and center. At this point, if you have something like a Gibraltar ultimate or a Bangalore ultimate, imagine being able to pop that off when everyone else is around you is low, and then that ultimate is able to get you like 3-4 kills. Imagine if something like that happens. I know it's outrageous. I know that I'm just 3D crafting at this point, but something like this could happen considering the amount of low, bleeding, hemorrhaging players that were present in that narrow place.
And Team Mackle, they were able to finish off a lot of those players just because of that. Slow, methodical play. Their positions were strong as well, and they were just able to pick off all the players that were trying to run away and get themselves inside of the zone every single time. It just goes to show that they are a squad that you can always rely on to be consistent throughout all of their games. But now they need to be the most consistent, not to try and go in for a win here, because we know for a fact that they have already taken the win. So many standing points in their favor. There's no one to contest them. They're the number ones. They're gonna take 1,25,000 rupees back home for themselves, for their squad. But the real question is, can they get the 5th on the board to get a clean sweep for themselves for the first time in the streamer invitational history for LG?
4 out of 4 wins. History in the making. They basically will set up a dynasty over here. it is nothing short of a miracle what Team Mackle has been able to pull off today, and this will go down in the books. This is something that people will remember them by. Mackle, who up until yesterday was just a streamer, today might even consider going pro. I mean, this is how dominant he can be, and hey, if you're able to win all the games in this tournament, then why not just compete at this point? There's nothing to stop you.
It's kind of how it goes here. You need to make a decision. You need to make a choice here. The thing is, with the overall standings now being prepared up and very soon enough here, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to see how many points Team Mackle have on their side. But at the same time, the one thing that I'm more interested in is how many points the side of Team Ankita and Sick Warriors have. Because they've been performing really well throughout the day. But the thing is, Team Ankita somehow, even with two players on their side, they were able to bring it on back onto their favor. And what did they do? They finally got themselves back onto that second spot. The number one is out of the question. That's going to be impossible for them. If they did have a three-man squad initially, I think they had a chance of trying to take down Team Mackle, but now it's all over. Team Ankita, they need to hold for that second position, but Sick Warriors is right on their tail. And in this situation, they got 3 more points for against them. So will these 3 points be enough to push them over the edge, or do they need to get even much more of an insurmountable lead on their side to try and take out Team Ankita? The thing is, Team Ankita, they need to be performing beautifully in game number 5. They cannot even slow down for a second. Play for the placement points. I don't care if you don't play for kills. They need a good lead. And Sick Warriors, I personally, if my memory serves me right, believe that they need a lot more kill points to take a win against the side of Team Ankita. It really does depend on this match entirely. So let's head on down over to the overall standings and see exactly what we're going to be looking at here. Oh, Crips. This is going to be close.
Very close. Ankita, Sick Warrior just 4 points away from each other. If
Yeah, it's
one
all
of
about
these
the kill
people,
points, man. It's all about the kill points.
yeah, I mean, they're basically exchanging their positions at this point, right? Like Ankita has 63 kill points. I'm sorry, Ankita has 63 placement points, and Sick Warrior has 63 kill points. Now, the only thing that separates them is just interchanging kill points and placements. So this could go either way, and we're down to the last game. Ugh, I don't know. Or what if both of these teams have a very bad game and then Beg for Mercy steps up somehow, or Bloodline for that matter? This
I
could go
honestly
either
think it's going
way.
to happen. I don't think
And
so.
I mean, while we are discussing about the shenanigans of the top 5 teams, also consider this the bottom 6, right? I mean,
They're right
Hydraflick,
next to one
T-Bone,
another.
RakaZone, these guys are at 51, 48, and 46 points, right? I mean, the battle for 6th place will also become really, really tight right now. And
Yeah,
there's a massive gap. Like, we have Hydraflick at 51 points, and then straight up 93 points, Team Bloodline. A 40-point difference. Yeah, you're not covering that in one game. No chance. But you can at least try to overthrow Team Hydraflick and get like 10,000 bucks at least.
yeah. Those 10,000 rupees are what you really want here. And I'm really hoping that they should be able to get it because it's going to be difficult for them. Yeah, but the thing is, they just need a couple of more points. Just that last tiny little bit of a push, a little bit more consistency from their side is going to be the one thing that gives them the win here. That is going to be what we expect. And the LG Ultragear Streamer Invitational is right on the cards of being completed. The last game of today, ladies and gentlemen, the last game for these teams to finally compete against one another and try to get that number 1 for themselves. Are they going to be able to do it, or are they going to be falling short? It's a real question here, Chris. But I do believe that the 4th, 5th, 6th positions are still up for grabs. Something will be interchangeable here. If Beck for Mercer are able to
Definitely.
dig deep and finally get a win here, if they're able to take down Team Mackle, I'm really hoping that they don't personally because I'm a little bit biased because I won that clean sweep from Team Mackle. It'll look really good. It's going to be a history first for the streamer invitationals as well, where one streamer completely won out every single game in a day. And the biggest comeback story that we'll ever hear here. And hey, the game is prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head on down over to the servers and see if the storyline will be set by the side of Team Mackle. Will they be the ones to set the record here? Or are they gonna fall short and fall flat on their faces immediately by a team by a team such as Beck for Mercy or by the side of Team Ankita? That's gonna be a real question here. Teams are now prepped up and ready. They're going in for their own spots here. They're spread out all
Are
across
they
the map.
though?
Yeah, they're
All
spread
right,
out all
let's.
across the map. They're just
Yeah, they are. But let's take a look. I kind of want to see if any team targets somebody else as a targeted hard drop, if something like that
Ooh,
does come
Bloodline
through.
versus Una.
Could be. We have startup guy and another team heading down to its thermal station.
There's a white
Lava
spread of
siphon.
people. Skyhook has 2.
Yeah, that could also be the case. One team in Climatizer, that's Sick Warriors team. Then we have T-Bone very close to them, just a little to the north of Epicenter. Skyhook's occupied by Meow16K and RakaZone's team. Then we have Ankita C inside of Countdown. Fragment is occupied by Mackle alone, so no problem over there. Nobody else contesting Team Mackle.
Dude, it's a lot of people on thermal station though. You see
Yeah.
this? 3 teams on close proximity with one another.
Or actually, there's
Right,
this one team. There's this one team with red text that we can't see clearly.
Oh wait, that's 4.
Yeah, see, they got camouflaged. There's too many teams over there. Jesus. Okay, this could be very interesting. 2 teams literally inside of thermal station and 2 more teams just in the vicinity. So that's a total of 4. And Hydraflick, he connects the first shot. Gibraltar does finally come out. You've been the one who was a little excited to see Gibraltar's, but now it's Gibby versus Caustic. 2 fatties going up against each other, and let's see whether the toxin is strong enough to pierce through the dome shield.
Positions are good though, but at the same time, it's not gonna be as expected. Hydraflex's squad, they do have a wingman to work with, and the wingman is gonna be able to sing.
Nice!
Sway. She's gonna take a back seat here. There's not much that she can do here to try and survive this one. Just get back, try and survive, and get into a better spot for themselves. But Hydraflick, they already lost out on one of their players. They need to try and get themselves into a better spot, maybe get themselves into a better position to try and survive all of this. But with the Loba ultimate already being placed here, they can possibly take a lot for themselves. But oh my god, Juza! You just absolutely did get them out of existence with this wingman. If you're feeding yourself with the wingman right now, this is exactly what you need to pull up your team from the gutters. This is possibly the win that Hydraflick need to try and maybe, just maybe, take that position up. Just to keep it here.
1 player left on the side of Team Sway. And even though he was able to use the jump pad and get upstairs, he can't really do much because the Caustic utility is just guarding the doors. And they're deliberately activating the traps immediately too so that he can't pop them at the bottom. Oh, this is Hydraflick at their best defense. 1 versus 3 right now. I just hope that SC116 is not given the opportunities to isolate these fights. But no! Ah, he's only good for 1. That's it. He's gonna be caught. He does manage to knock out Jusage,
Wait,
but...
Raman Chopra was here as well. There were 2 teams. Oh yeah, there were 2 teams. Raman Chopra's team and Team Spain.
Well, Hydraflick's able to get them both. 3 kills on Startup Guy in the form of the Caustic. More to follow from Jusage. He was definitely able to pop some good amount of heads with that wingman. Nutty shots.
They're making things work out in their favor, but at the same time, it's just not enough, not just yet. See what we can expect from these squads here. Positions are strong, they are good, but Bloodline, they're right around the corner. Let's see what they do here. Maybe they can work something out, but not just yet. Back for Mercy, they did spot out one of their players, but they're dying out all over the place. Fat Monster, he's still hunting for 1. He's not gonna be able to get this. There's no way. This is a Bloodhound who has been ulted, who has Leave 8 in his hand.
Oh no.
Fat
That's
Monster's
team-
able to get that kill.
Team
Yeah.
Bloodline out of the picture. Axeback and and Fat Monster, they finished them off. Alright, so one of the top teams has been eliminated from the competition, and Sick Warrior will be very happy with this. He manages to outlive Team Bloodline. Okay, this could be even more interesting at this point. We have a very, very heated up battle on our hands. Sick Warrior in the tunnels, trying to stay alive on 1 HP. Just making every shot count. 1 knock does come through. T-Bone falls. 2 versus 3 situation right now. Unless Sick Warrior himself falls too. But Axeback, he's fighting Salubai from the other side. Wait, what is even happening? Is there a third-party situation going on over here? That could very well be the case. Sick Warrior now trying to chase them down. The jump pads will help them. Can the L-Star connect enough shots mid-air? Nope, not enough. There's still a little bit of time before they finally catch up with their Nemesis, but now they need to be very careful. Can they go around the other side and be safe? Should they even enter the Skyhook area at this point, or should they stay in the tunnels where that enemy will last spotted? RakaZone taking pot shots. They're trying to gatekeep them from the other side. They're inside the city, while everyone else is in the tunnels. But everyone will need to leave this place. Like, the ring is pushing them very far away. Of course, there's no shortage of jump towers inside of Skyhook, so you can always make an escape. But still, with so many teams being in this area, escape becomes an impossibility. And while we are talking about that, while this fight is going on, in the background, Team Ankita has wiped out Shriman Legends. So we are down to the last 10 teams already. This is a very, very quick game. Sick Warrior looking to make their escape. Nobody else looking at them. They're escaping from the right-hand side of Skyhook, which is a place where, from this location, they can't get shot down by anyone else who's in the city. So pretty safe rotation from Team Sick Warrior. I want to see if RakaZone survived this onslaught or not. He did lose 2 players, but did the 3rd player manage to grab their banners? Yes.
Ooh.
At least Team T-Bone survived. We can see Krat. He's trying to pick up an aim duel against Genius with the Wingman.
Oh no!
I'm pretty sure that Krat also has the banners of his
Yeah,
teammates.
that's
He
odd.
can obviously go for the revivals. But Mackle, they're able to gatekeep Team Sick Warrior. The charge rifles come through and these guys are already pretty low on HP. HP, I say, not even shields, just straight up health. That means they're not only taking damage from the zone, but now Team Mackle goes out of the zone to hunt them down. They're going above and beyond of what's required. They want to make sure that Sick Warrior has no chance of escaping from the other side. One
But
top
the
team
thing
has
is-
already fallen in the form of Bloodline, and they want the other top team, Sick Warrior, also to fall right now. The number of teams that they're able to reduce right at the start, the number of top tier teams, the less they are, the better it is for Team Mackle, and the chance of them getting a 5-win streak today keeps on rising.
Thing is, Scripps, if the side of Sick Warriors get taken down here, they cannot overtake him up. They are going to be the ones who take that second position for themselves. They are going to be the ones who walk away with 75,000 rupees. The thing is, I don't think that Sick Warriors, they want to give that away just yet. They still can play for the placement point. They just need 4 points, remember. Just if Team Ankita don't really get a strong start for themselves, if Team Ankita die out anywhere near as early, things are going to be hurting them. But look at the zone, man, and look at how many teams are outside of the zone.
Hey!
Oh, no. Oh,
Hold on.
God, this is bad.
Hold on, okay, there's a couple of interesting storylines over here. Genius has been resurrected by Mao16K. So that one kill that Krat was able to get, yeah, that player's back at the server. Mackle, who are trying to go outside the zone to hunt down Team Sick Warrior, have now found Team RakaZone. No, wait, they haven't found RakaZone. Someone else is finding RakaZone instead. Mackle is very close to entering the zone, and they are just on the edge of Fragment, so they're pretty safe. RakaZone, on the other hand, yeah, these guys are kind of trapped. We also have ProShot all by himself who's trying to survive. And things might start to get a little bit dicey. Now they're approaching the edge of Fragment, and there's way too much action going on.
They're making things work though, but at the same time, what's happening on the other side? Why is T-Mode and another squad facing off against each other outside of the circle? They're not even trying to move in here. What is happening across the map? My brain is hurting. My brain doesn't understand. I'm in a confused Unga Bunga state, but if it works, it works. But Sick Warriors, they're also outside of the circle and they're nowhere close to it.
Yeah, so many teams just bleeding out in the first ring. And this is a very rough zone. This is a cruel mistress right here. When you're in Skyhook, when you're in the northern part of the map, and the zone forces you to go beyond Fragment down south, yeah, that's just very unfair, man. That's way too much distance to cover. And the moment RakaZone thinks they're safe, the moment they enter the breathable space of the ring, Team Mackle is ready to welcome them with open arms. They open fire on them. And this is such a good feeling. Like, take a look at this valley. You have 2 members close to these dead boxes, but then you've got Northern Breeze with a charge rifle on the other end of this valley. So nobody will slip by. They will be able to keep tabs on everything. Take a look at this Mackle on top of that building. He can keep an eye on this entire cliffside. He can take a look at everyone who's trying to come out from the zone. And they know there's plenty of teams left stranded in there, so they won't let them through. They'll be the gatekeepers here.
Just spotted someone out there.
Now, with the positions being held, Team Mackle, they need to pull off something incredible. They should be able to as well, but once again, Proj, please don't make me go back to my dancing classes back in college. Oh no. They're giving me the PTSDs, man. They're giving me the Vietnam flashbacks that I don't want to go back to.
Mackle's giving everyone PTSD. Dude, when you win 4 games in a row, yeah, you've got nothing but PTSD for all the other teams.
They're doing the damage and they're able to make a lot of the plays happen. But finally, Sick Warriors, the final player, they're able to get themselves inside of the zone. But at the same time, you're playing for placement points here. Well, Team Unkata, they're still alive. They're all happy. They're all still gunning for a couple of wins for themselves as well here. Positions are good. Positions are strong. Just swing out of the corners and try and get something for yourself at the bare minimum here. Gonna be able to go in for a hold. It's gonna be strong for them, but it's not as we would have expected. Because now, Team Unkita, they're just waiting. Look at the positions though. The positions are just as good, but the circle is taking them to a spot where it could be really open or it could be really problematic as well. Because the buildings that are inside of the circle, they're not that good, man. They're not good at all. Because these buildings have so many different avenues that you can get shot from. It's pretty bad. And already you can see the first initial fight happening. Team Hydraflick, they're getting shot out, but they do have a building to control in their favor.
Alright, let's take a look at what the status quo is. Hydraflick locked in a compound battle. Now, I don't think any of these teams will be moving unless the zone forces them out or one of them manages to get a knock. Both of those situations can be deadlier than the other, but then we have Arm Power Gaming on top of this group over here, and they might also try to get a piece of the action. If they're able to cross this bridge, they will be very close to where Team Hydraflick is, and at this point, dealing with a third-party situation can be tricky.
Oh,
Target spotted.
this is bad. They lost the roof control, Crips. Staying on the roof would have been so much better than trying to play under here, because now there's only one place they can get out of this spot. Though. They either need to go around right now, go inside of the pump station, I do believe, and then just play from there. Oh, sorry, it was the climatizer, sorry. Either go inside the climatizer right now, stay there, or stay on top of this building and just take a couple of fights. And
Yeah, but
I personally would just go around.
This is the heart of the map right here. At this point, there's way too many narrow corridors and one open area in the center with like 3 compounds.
Enemy track. Watch out.
And there's way too many places that you can
Oh,
rotate in and
Power.
out of.
I don't think he knows, man. I don't think they know.
I mean, they'll find out soon enough if they don't. This is a very tricky area to navigate. Keep in mind, anything close to Lava Siphon has way too many entrances and exits. And if you're not careful, if you think you have the jump on a team, if you think you're the one gatekeeping them, well, then you better think again, because the repositioning potential is massive in an area like this. If you know your way around the map, then you definitely will have a much better advantage than anybody else, because you will be able to navigate this tricky spot. Knowing each and every nook and corner of this area will definitely help you quite a lot. But at this point, it's not about the nooks and crannies, it's about Arm Power and his G7 Scout. This guy is so good. They're laying down suppressive fire.
Able to do a lot here. The positions are strong as well, but it's not as you would have expected here. Positionally, they're in a pretty good spot, but not in the best, not just yet. Let's just see what we can expect. Arm Power, they're just waiting, they're just chilling. They do not want to go overly aggressive. But with 9 squads remaining here, Crips, I think that we should be walking into a game that just happened previously. Game number 4 and game number 5, are we going to be twin brothers or sisters? That's going to be the real question.
I don't know. Honestly, genuinely don't have answered that question right now.
9 squads remaining, man, and the circle's closing in to be.
Yeah, especially when it's in this area, these squads
gonna
can
get
stay
even
alive
closer.
for a lot longer. So
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be a pretty slow game.
It's gonna be slow for a second, and then we as casters are just gonna be like confused. Unga, bunga, bunga.
Well, now you see one of the rotational potentials of this place. Arm Power exits that little sky bridge and they go
Once
towards
the 4th.
the inside of Lava Siphon. Mackle, on the other hand, approaching from the north. And there is a team behind them too. Uh-oh! This could be big. I think that is T-Bone's team, the one that they're shooting at. Of course, there are people inside the houses right behind them, but here,
That's a good one.
they're just melting their opposition. More people being cracked. And Team Mackle should be able to gatekeep them. 1 minute 28 seconds remaining. They don't have too much distance to cover and going inside the zone, but hey, They've got the knock already, and that's Pro Shot being downed. Pratt is the only man standing, and he's a lifeline. And lifelines, obviously, as you know, have no repositioning potential. But when he gets stunned like that with the missile swarm, that's the cue for Team Mackle to move inside.
They're just not gonna go in for it though, because if they try to go in for a push against him, that's gonna be super dangerous for them. A couple of, hit wreck shots.
Yeah. Hydraflick is the one who seals the kill onto Pratt. So Mackle's team will be... Yeah, Mackle will be very mad that Hydraflick stole his kill away from them.
It's fine. Team Mackle, they are going to be going into a better position because they need to reposition from that building. They can't stay there for long. But the thing is, Lava Siphon's right in front of them. They need to make a decision. They need to go inside of that building, but it's just not going to happen. There's another squad right across the corner who have beautiful high ground to work with, but that high ground's not going to be taking them much dividends here. On power, they need to get out of here. Almost immediately misses the jump pad, but on power, he's missing a lot of those jump pads. He's not going to be able to get the speed to get himself into a better position, but it's completely fine. He doesn't get shot out of the air. He's going to be able to take a deep breath. He's just going to be fine. Reset, slow, steady. 12 seconds left on the clock. They need to try and understand. They need to find a plan to go in for a repositional play already, because the amount of squads still remaining in this small circle, the fights can happen at any seconds, and you snap your finger and all of them are just dead. I don't know what to expect here, Crips. Anything is possible.
Literally anything is possible. I mean, in the previous game, there were too many teams and very little real estate, so the teams just fell like flies. The Thanos circle was activated and everyone died instantly. Now it's the complete opposite. There are too many teams, but there's also a lot of cover available. There's ample of places to hide inside, and I think this game is going to be the opposite of the previous one. Teams will die, but slowly, methodically, in a very painful and excruciating death. A very slow death, too.
Yeah, they're taking it slow. They're taking it steady, but not for too long. That's going to be the first initial 2 squads already dropping like flies. 6 squads remaining here, ladies and gentlemen. And now the action's just about to pick up, but surely it's going to be Team Mackle being able to spot out another squad. Proj going in for a couple of pop shots, tracking beautiful as ever. Gonna be able to get a little bit of damage being done, but that's another player already going on down. Hydraflick, they're gonna be taking a backseat here with Northern Beast going in for 1. Proj is gonna be able to take down Hydraflick completely. That's a captain down for one of the squads. Arm Power's getting shot from multiple different angles. They're just not gonna be able to survive for long. But Thunderwag, he's gonna be the one to change it all up. He's gonna be able to take down Juze. And with that, Team Hydraflick, they're already out. The new kill leader has been crowned, and it's going to be none other than Salubai being the one to try and hold down the fort here. They have the circle in their favor. They don't need to play it over aggressively. They can just play it slow. They can just play it smart. But at the same time, Crips, they don't have bullets to work with. The resources are non-existent.
Oh shit, see, this is where the Loba comes in really handy. At this point, Beg for Mercy's team would be smiling right now, thanking their stars that they picked up the Loba, but unfortunately they're not here to celebrate the win. Arm Power Gaming, they have probably one of the best positions in Circle right now. Nobody else behind them, they don't need to worry about any flanks, nobody can come up from behind them, their Circle's on their back, and the ring is upon them. Everyone else will have to come close to them. You see that little bus trailer thingy kind of platform? Yeah, that's the only place that's available inside the zone. That's the only piece of cover, and that's held by Team Mackle. So it's Arm Power and Team Mackle who have the power positions. Everyone else needs to get inside and find a place to call home, because there's nobody else available. No other place left safe. A portal's been connected on both the sides, which means if things go wrong, Mackle can always escape from the other side. But hold on, who is that in the center trying to challenge them? This could be a suicide move if anyone tries to get out in the open.
The Precious squad, they still have a little bit of cover to work with. The Octane jump pad will be the main thing that they need to try and go in for a repositional tool. And it's actually Salubai from the side of Team Arm Power who tries to challenge them right there. They want to try and gatekeep the side of Team Mackle as best as they possibly can here, but that's just not going to happen, not just yet. Look at Northern Beast over there. Already spot out one of the battles happening on the left side. It's going to be Team Unkita going up against another squad. It is going to be Ravi Gang getting taken out by Fleetsa, but that's pretty much it. That's done and dusted. There is nothing that that squad can do anymore here. But with the positions already revealed, they need to go in for their own rotational play. And hey, the side of Team Mackle, they're just waiting for them, waiting in open arms for the side of Team Unkita to push into them.
Yeah.
But they're just not going to be going for it.
Well, at least Ankita is able to outlive Team Sick Warrior and Beg for Mercy, so she can be 100% sure that she'll walk away with the second place at the very least. Arm Power, one of the better positions, now have the chance to pinch Mackle Gaming in the middle. You have Ankita at bottom, Team Armpower on the top near the walls of Lava Siphon. But hey, Mackle's the one who's on the highest ground right now in the middle of both these teams. Now, if they both attack at the same time, this would be great. But the Ankita is just hoping that those other two teams start fighting each other and then they go in for the third party. Unfortunately, their patience is going to wear thin. 10 seconds until the ring starts moving. They need to make a move. If not make a move, at least get closer to the center. The moment they see a couple of knocks, they're going to move in. That's going to be their cue. And they want to be ready for it. Oh, look at this. Northern Breeze. He's trying to leave that compound and stay towards the center, hoping that the circle doesn't force them out way too much in the open. They know that Armpower will also have to abandon their position, and they're just waiting for them to get out of their hiding holes. And while all of this is happening, it's actually Team Ankita who have the highest amount of zone control. They have the center for themselves, but Salubai might just be walking into a trap. Of course, he can take the portals back, but at this point, if Salubai, if he walks back in that portal, Ankita will basically lay a death trap for him. That is a very baity portal. Nobody should get into it. And Ankita realize that the advantage they have is insurmountable. They are in the center. They can stop these other teams from coming inside if they play their cards right. Unfortunately, Mackle's team is a little bit too tanky. The red shields versus purple, this could be big, but Marani's on the verge of getting knocked down herself. She tries to go dip into the low ground and hoping that the cover will be able to keep her safe, but Beckham is the one responsible for keeping these players alive, and he's able to find the kill onto Armpower. That's it. Mackle versus Ankita, the battle for supremacy. They need to go in for the 5th game in a row, and it seems like Ankita will deny them the pleasure of doing it. Ankita wins the game. No more 5 wins in a row for Team Mackle. Finally, somebody stops their winning spree.
Team Ankita, they take it all away. Even though they had the worst possible position in this entire circle, they waited until the side of Team Mackle made that first initial mistake. Them opting to go in for a push against Armpower was the biggest mistake you could have made. If Team Ankita were the ones to get pushed instead, the low ground disadvantage would have been there. But still, I personally believe that if Armpower wanted to go down from the high ground onto the low ground, they would have had a really tough time trying to take down Team Mackle, especially considering resources that they would have had on their arsenal. But the thing is, Team Ankita, they played it beautifully. They played the perfect third party. They just poked out Team Mackle a lot. They were being an absolute annoyance. And then Team Mackle, they needed to make a decision. Either go for Armpower, who's straight up in front of them, who have a little bit better of a position, or push out Ankita, who are still inside of the zone. And the thing is, the better choice would be the one to push out Team Ankita. They were still inside of the zone. Team Armpower Gaming, they were still pushing into the zone. In that situation, that one small mistake, the high pressure scenario being done from the side of Ankita, the way that they were able to create so much pressure on the side of Team Mackle, they just cracked under it. They got the first initial kill, but it was just enough, not enough to go in for the win there. But at the same time, the win really doesn't matter. It was just for the glory points, pretty much. They wanted to set a record here for the Invitationals, but it's fine. They were not able to get it. Still, they still walk away with number 1, regardless of what's going to happen. But at the same time, Team Ankita, they're going to walk away with the 2nd position as well. There was nothing to contest them. Sick Warriors died out really early, and right at the very end, the consistency that they have shown with their 3rd member now coming on down in was absolutely beautiful. Let's head on down over towards the map highlights here, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly 1 twin down all the way from the start, all the way to the very end, and Team Hydraflick. They were absolute dominant beasts right off the get-go. These wingman shots from Jose, like, I don't know, man. Like, he made the wingman sing, and he was able to take down everyone.
Yeah, those were some really crispy shots. Look at me cracking a pun on my own name, but Back for Mercy, unfortunately, while he was able to win a couple of games, I can't really say the same for Team Sick Warrior, who were trapped in a very difficult situation. Poor guys started to fight outside the zone, but when they tried to make a run for it, they were gatekept by Mackle's team. And they were not the only ones who were gatekept by them, right? Even RakaZone fell prey to them. To some extent, even T-Bone died to them, but T-Bone himself, at least his team carried on. Of course, they were later on killed by the side of Exprudge and Hydraflick combined, so T-Bone also couldn't do much. But then later on in this circle, the best thing that worked in the favor of Team Ankita is the fact that they had a lot of area under their control. They were closer to the center of the circle than any other team, and the zone doesn't push them out as much as it does the others. So having a little more geographical control and staying closer to the center helped them out quite a lot.
Yeah, Team Ankita, they played their cards beautifully there, but at the same time, I'm really hoping that Team Ankita got like 30 kill points, but I don't think that's gonna happen. If they did get 30 points, man, that would have been the storyline of the century. getting 30 points and being able to overthrow the side of Team Mackle, it's just not gonna happen here. They did rise up till the very end, and to get 40, 50 points in a game of Apex, I don't think that is humanly possible. Even to clear out half the server like that, yeah, that's gonna be a tall task indeed. Unless you're a hacker, that's not gonna be possible. So moving on down the line here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be crowning the side of Team Mackle as the champions here. The second spot will be taken by Team Unkita. But the thing is, who are going to be the ones to take the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth positions? That is the thing that there's going to be up for grabs. We don't know anything about that here. So let's wait and see as the team is preparing up all of the standings for us to see exactly who's going to be crowning up on the top end. So, Crips, I want your thoughts. Did you like the pacing of game number 5?
I
Because
love
in
it.
my eyes, it was the exact same way as game number 4, but in much more bite-sized pieces. At least we were able to digest what was happening on game number 5. And game number 4, we just blink and I just blink, I look at one of the squads dying, and I'm like, oh, how many squads are remaining? And I'm like, wait, when did it
I
become
thought
3
only one.
squads?
Exactly. See, that's the difference, right? In the previous game, too many people, very little places to hide. Here, there was plenty of cover. Like, there were these houses that Mackle was holding initially. Even Hydraflick was holding there initially. There was enough room for Team T-Bone to come inside. There was enough room for Hydraflick and Mackle to fight each other and then accommodate Arm Power too. Ankita stayed towards the end. Nobody was able to touch their team. They were remaining nice and safe. Even Raman Chopra, to some extent, he died early on, but then the teammates of his squad, they came through into the circle. Of course, they died immediately once they entered, but still, it tells you what you need to know. It tells you there was plenty of space available, hiding space available for that matter, to be exact.
Yeah, the positional advantage is just a little bit too strong from the side of Team Ankita. Initially, I thought that, hey, Team Mackle, they're going to be able to take this away. They have the higher ground, they have the better positions. But what I did forget about was there was a huge gaping hole in the wall. There was like that small window crack with the railings there that Team Ankita constantly just poured in a lot of pressure and a lot of bullets towards the side of Team Mackle. And Team Mackle, they were being forced into a corner. They had nowhere to go. They needed to make that decision, and they just went in for the dive on the Team Arm Power instead of going in for Team Ankita. In either scenario, one team would have died and the other would have won. Like when they're in such close proximity to one another, when the sidelines are this open, even if you go and push for the side of Team Ankita, Arm Power would be the ones to go in for the reverse push to take you out. If you went for Arm Power, then Team Ankita would be in the position to take you out instead. There's no in between. Once one team just had to die here, and it was the side of Team Mackle to take it all away. So let's head on down over to the standings here, ladies and gentlemen. At Team Ankita, they take 24 points for themselves. They solidify their second place position. No one's going to be there to touch them. Team Mackle with 17, Arm Power with 11, Sick Warriors with 9, Hydraflick with 9, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch them now when you consider their position for the sixth place.
I'm starting to become a little concerned for Beck for Mercy. Will they still be able to retain their position on the overall standings? This was a very lackluster game from them. 4 points. We've seen them do so much better in the past, and because they've set such high standards for themselves, that's probably why they're a little disappointed right now with this performance. The
Yeah.
score discrepancy not too great between the first 5 teams, but after that, it's basically the same thing. In fact, it's a little breath of fresh air that RakaZone, T-Bone, Meow, Raman, Bloodline, all of them managed to get 3 kills each. So that's a little new, to say the least.
Yeah, Team Hirsch as well. They were able to get a little bit closer as well for their side. 4-1. They took 5 points. That just were having such rough games throughout day number 1 and also day number 2. It's kind of nice that the fact that they were able to switch everything up and try something a little bit more different for their side. Well done from their end. But hey, we're gonna wait until the overall signings before we crown our new champions here. Because come on, it's gonna look good once our production team has already prepped up all of the teams. They have them posing for the number 1, number 2, number 5, number 6. Like we need to see that. But the thing is, Scripps, I want to ask you one more thing. Do you think that throughout this entire invitational comparison to what Invitational 1 was like, I personally believe that all these teams, they have improved massively. Every single one of these streamers, they have proven to be absolute juggernauts in this game because of the amount of time and practice that they have put into it. And anyone back at home can reach the same level if they just play for it.
One way to get up to their level would obviously be to get yourself those latest LG Ultragear monitors with 240 hertz refresh rates and lightning fast response speed, 1 ms. But let's take a look at the overall standings. Time has come, ladies and gentlemen, to find out who the actual winners are. We know number one is going to be taken up by Mackle, but what about the others? Oh my lord, 172 points from Mackle. This is above and beyond what I was expected. Ankita with 143, finishing at number 3. Sick Warrior, 124 points overall, and they finish in the 3rd position. Beg for Mercy retain their position on the 4th place, above Team Bloodline, and Hydraflick finishes at the 6th spot. Congratulations to all the top 6 teams for because they're able to win a little bit of the prize money. But Mackle, of course, is the real winner over here. What a dominating performance. 5 wins in the entire tournament. 4 of those coming from day 2. Now that's a ridiculous amount of dominance from this one team.
I think in a way they're the first squad to actually take 4 wins throughout the Rise of Legion, throughout the first invitational event. They were not really no team was able to get 4 wins in a row. I think Mackle, they're the first one. They were the ones to try and go in for the 5th win in a row, but it was just not happening. Hopefully in the following
Yeah.
invitationals or even following pro events, you never really know because TEC, they have a lot of secret plans in mind for Apex. You're gonna be seeing that soon enough. But make sure to follow us on our socials to make sure you know when that's gonna happen. But as of right now, for the LG Ultragear Streamer Invitationals, we're going to be crowning Mackle as our champion, and he deserves it. His entire squad just went beyond our expectations because after day number 1, we thought that, hey, the team's just not going to be able to make it. The other squads are just a lot more stronger here this time around. But Team Mackle, they proved us wrong. And hey, the shark is better than all of the fishes, it seems.
Definitely, he was the big fish in a small pond over here, but hey, he can expand. He can go over to the open seas, and considering how dominant he was over here, I think he can spread his wings and, prove his dominance in the next Streamer Invitational as well. Congratulations to Team Mackle. They really made a bold statement today, getting such a dominant win. 4 games in a row. Congratulations to Mackle, X-Praj, and Northern Priest. What a lovely performance. Also, huge shout out to Ankita C, Sick Warrior, and Hydraflick, along with Bloodline as well. They put up a really, really good fight, and they made this tournament really competitive. They kept us on the edge of our seats. They had us biting our nails. And honestly, sometimes that's all you need. A nice rainy evening on the outside and some high octane Apex on the inside.
And we got all of the puns ready as well. I kept it low on the Crips jokes here, but it's completely fine. Don't really worry about it. We have
Thank
a
you.
lot. We have a lot more tournaments moving on down the line. Hey, the duo of Crips and Aggressive will always be here, and all of my crispy jokes will be waiting for that one later on, moving on down the line here.
Not looking forward to them. Thank you.
Okay, but like all the puns excluded here, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, it's been a journey for a lot of these streamers and also for us on the casters desk because we have seen these streamers grow from Streamer Invitational 1. A lot of them played on the Rise of Legion, and now moving on down here on LG Ultragear Streamer Invitational, they've proven themselves to be even better. And moving on down the line, when we have much more following tournaments, I honestly do believe that these streamers, they can go even further, break their own limits, and go into Ultra Instinct state as well. Because considering Team Mackle, they had a run for their money. Team Unkeda, they possibly could have taken the number 1 position away from them. Consider something. Throughout the entire day, it was only on the last game that Unkeda was able to make it. Every single other time, there was just 2 people playing, Flixa and Bego. They were able to pull off consistent plays throughout all of their matches, able to get over 10 points. Just tell me, Crips, who else can do it other than the 17 Ankita and the squad that she had on her side? Possibly take
Yeah.
out the side of Team Mackle as well later, moving on down the line.
Yeah, I mean, there were some games when they were playing as a 2-man squad, as a duo. I think that if they had all 3 of the members present in the server at that time, they will definitely have been able to give Team Mackle a run for their money.
All of those factors are going to be coming into play, but at the same time, Team Mackle, congratulations to your side. You guys went out on the amazing prize pool of 1,25,000. The second place is going to be going towards the side of Team Unkeda with 75,000. The third place is going to be taken by the side of Beg for Mercy, or no, it was actually Sick Warriors who are going to be taken away on the 50,000, and the rest of the amount will be given towards the 4th, 5th, and 6th positions here, ladies and gentlemen. Beautifully done from all the streamers. They did amazing throughout the entirety of these 2 days, and hey, that's going to be all that we have for you for today with the LG Ultragear Streamer Invitationals. We are going to be coming to a close. A little bit of a sad moment for all of us back at home, ladies and gentlemen, but don't really worry about it, because when it comes down to the Esports Club, we have a lot more games on our cards and a lot more Apex tournaments that are going to be shown up soon enough as well. And hey, if you want to support us, make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe button as well to get notified as soon as we do go live. And also make sure to follow our socials to get updates on when we're going to be releasing further more streamer invitationals, or possibly a pro event here and there as well, just like the Rise of Legion. You never really know, because the TSC, when you're at the TSC, sorry, the action just never stops. And hey, if you want to support us even further, make sure to check out all the links down below in the description from the side of LG Ultragear, because if you want to play like the pros that you have seen here today, make sure to get yourself an LG Ultragear monitor, because that's the only way you're going to be able to perform to the best of your abilities and hit crispy shots like this.
Thank you so much for watching, ladies. I knew you'd do it. I was expecting, when's he gonna do it? When's he gonna do it? So I kind of saw it coming, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what else you can see coming? A lot more tournaments your way. We will have plenty of Apex Legends actions for you soon enough. But if you want to find out when, then you have to stay tuned. Subscribe to our channel to never miss an update, and of course, follow us on our socials as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure casting for you. My name is Crips. With me was Aggressive, and we'll see you again soon.